Hey, what's up, dudes? This is Johnny Beane. Saturday nights is Straturday Night Live here on Johnny Beane TV, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. It's July 8th, 2023. It's 11:08 p.m. Eastern, 8:08 Pacific. And we're giving away a Heyday Bluetooth-enabled wireless speaker tonight. So all you got to do is participate in the chat. Say something to your neighbor, press a number, ask us questions, comments, whatever. And in a couple hours, we will give this away. So, yeah. All right. Hey, the Discord is telling me that we're live. Right on, you guys. All right. Here we go. Is that applause too cheesy? Yo! What's up? Dudes, it's been a couple weeks, right?
Dose.
Yes,
sir.
Because yeah, I was out of town last week, and dang it, I forgot. I have so much footage on my phone that I had filmed down in Hollywood that I was going to upload, and maybe we can do some of that in a little bit. But welcome, you guys. This is Straturday night. We talk. Well, we can pretty much talk anything, but as you can see, everybody has guitars, musical instruments, so we like to talk music, rock guitar. We love Van Halen. So smash that thumbs up, smash that subscribe button, and again, we're giving away a Heyday wireless speaker tonight, right? So again, participate in the chat. That's all you got to do. Talk to your neighbor, ask us questions, comments, press numbers, emojis, whatever you want to do, and that'll get you entered into the giveaway. Now, I have it right here, so let me show you guys. It looks like this, and it's just a little wireless speaker. This is the Heyday Artist Design Series. Very cool.
There you go. Throw it down.
I caught it. There we go.
Hi, Mike
Anyway.
Olson.
Mike Olson, what's up? We're giving this away tonight. So again, you got to be subscribed to the channel. Okay, you have to be subscribed. Speaking of that, we are very close. We are very, very close to 10,200 subscribers. We're only about 50 away. So let's see if we can get to 10,200 YouTube subscribers tonight. But let's say hello to the channel members here on Johnny Beane TV, here on YouTube. Channel membership. It's the way you can help support the channel and support these shows. The top tier. Wow, thanks for all those emojis. Oh my gosh. Dang, look at that. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. You got all kinds of stuff going on. I'm going to leave that up. The top tier of channel members, they get their names read at the top of every talk show, which is what this is. And the top tier is currently CC, Stephen Franklin, Michael Smith, Music Therapy Lads, Sherman Callahan, 40 Grit, John Moronic, Majestic PB and J Cat, Guitar Man 45, Janice Lala, Arhabs, Warlag, Patty Dill, and Fairfield Guitar Co. Those are the executive producers, the top of the world members here on Johnny Beane TV. If you'd like to become a channel member, click that join button. It's somewhere on the screen here on YouTube. They keep kind of moving it around, so I'm not sure where it is right now, but click on that. A quick little video will play telling you all about the benefits of being a channel member, like exclusive content, getting your name in green like Mike Olson, like Janice Lala. I see you guys. You guys stick out in the chat because your channel members, exclusive emojis, all kinds of cool stuff. And that's the way you can help support the channel and support these shows. But another way you can help support is with super chats. So if you look behind me here, you'll see what's called the Guitar Noir. And it changes my lights. Oops, that's still showing. Here, 10,200 soon. Okay, right here, this is the Guitar Noir. These lights magically change with any super chats, which is basically support for the channel for these shows. And you get what do you get? You get your comment pinned to the top of the chat, wherever that is. Twitter. What? Twitter gives you a shout out. It's awesomeness. Let's see. So we got that. We're currently live on Facebook. Johnny Beane page and Johnny Beane TV. I'm actually kind of rethinking the multi-stream thing. So I don't know how much longer I'll be multi-streaming. It might be an exclusive YouTube show. I'm not sure. I'm trying to figure some things out. Currently, though, we're on Facebook, where you can help support the show with Facebook stars. And like I said, we're live in the exclusive Van Halen group at 62,000 members. EVH Gear Fans Live group, EVH Gear Fans Live page, Johnny Beane TV group. I'm gonna try to rework the multi-streaming thing. I don't know. I got to figure that out. I've got technical things I'm trying to work on, but so far we're live everywhere. Yeah. So dudes, I missed you guys. I was gone last week. I didn't see you guys.
I was watching.
Oh my gosh. 40 Grit was watching. Right on, man.
I was watching.
Ron Gunner was watching. Yeah, my adventures in Hollywood, riding the scooters around.
I like the camera going.
Yeah, those things are dangerous, man. I don't know if any of you guys have tried riding one of those things, but they're pretty dangerous, although they are pretty awesome. Like if you need to get from point A to point B and you don't have a car, all you do, you just download the app, you scan it on your phone, and you're off. And it's a pretty cool thing. It was a great way to get around. I think the top speed was like 20.
Wow.
So I don't know. I don't know if that seems slow, but it's pretty fast if you're standing on a skateboard type of thing, whatever. So they're very cool. Cheech in the chat. I see you guys. I do see that. Did I get to Norm's rare guitars? I did not.
Yeah, that's always a must stop for me.
I think the next time we're down there, probably NAMM show time, probably in January, because I'll be down there with Music Therapy Laz, and he'll want to go by there. So and he'll probably have a car too, so it'll probably be easier to get there. Because okay, Cheech, the reason I didn't go was because there just wasn't enough time. I had a whole list of stuff to do. I only got to a few things. I did some things you guys, that I didn't stream. I met with some friends and stuff, which I didn't stream, on the channel. But I think I'll be going to LA more often, and especially with the NAMM show coming up and other events type of things, it'll be easier to get to some of those places, like that place.
Yeah.
So
my favorite part was when the guy cut in front of you at Starbucks and you called him out. That was awesome.
Dude. Yeah. I couldn't believe that, man. I was standing there in line. A guy walks and stands right in front of me like he's cutting me off.
Well, people don't care anymore. That's the problem. And then you have to call them out. Because if you don't call them out, it'll just continue, Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was Beverly Hills, although I don't think he was from there. He didn't seem like he would actually live there. I mean, I didn't. I was wearing a backpack. I was afraid I couldn't use a bathroom anywhere because I looked homeless. You know, they wouldn't let me in anywhere. So, what you guys didn't see, once I wrapped that, and if you guys didn't see that, check that out. There'll be a card right above here, right above Ron Gunner there, yes, of basically walking in Beverly Hills, trying to get to the big Beverly Hills sign. That's what I was doing, and but yeah, once I hit end on that video, I called an Uber, and the Uber took me all the way back to where I started, and then I was able to make a pit stop in there, and then basically I called another Uber and took me to the airport, and I just left.
Yo, Dwight Bailey.
But Dwight Bailey, what's up? But something that's cool that I didn't, film or whatever, which I don't know. I'll just tell you guys because it's kind of weird. When I took the Uber back to the airport, for some reason it took me up into the hills, which normally it wouldn't have done that, but for some reason it did. And the lady's driving me, and I'm like, wait a minute. We actually, I think we passed Eddie Van Halen's house.
Yeah.
In the hills. You go up
Coldwater Canyon.
Yeah, that's where we were. I'm like, yeah, it was very strange. And I didn't say anything to the lady, and I didn't, I'm just like, yeah, it's kind of weird that it would take us over here, but
maybe she knew who you were.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, your name's out there quite a bit. Makes some people mad.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I mean, whatever. But so it was pretty strange. It was pretty strange, and being like, man, yeah, that's anyway. Yeah, so that was cool.
Well, it was weird being off last week. I worked, so I went ahead and closed. But I was watching. I was trying to keep up with what you were doing and work at the same time. And then we started deep conversation immediately tonight in the green room. So I didn't get a chance to say hello to Ron. Ron, how you doing, pal? And then I see a bunch of stuff doing in. I'm trying to figure out what's going on in that house of yours. I'm looking, and then hey, Robbie, what's up?
What's up, man?
What is? Go back to Ron, please. I can't see. I'm old.
Robbie's sleeping.
Is this the basement still, Ron, or is this somewhere else?
Yeah, it's my it's the I don't know what you want to call it.
Are you in front of an orange screen?
Oh,
it's like in front of a green screen that's like orange.
I know. No, I'm not. Seriously, it's like there's the guitar, and I know it looks like it from the headphones. I was just noticing that myself. I thought, wow, it looks like a green screen up there, but it's not.
Why is it so red in there?
Well, it's the camera's picking it up. They're actually amber color, but with the natural. I mean, it's got the natural palette wood everywhere, and it's just kind of camera's turning it to like an orange. So that, and it's probably 300 degrees down here. So.
Oh my gosh.
No, actually, it's 67.
Oh, it's 117 out here. So.
Oh my.
God, you look like you're in hell.
Oh my god.
When it's 117,
you're in hell.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
what is it here?
Oh, and hello to everybody in the chat. Everybody's saying hello to everybody. So hello to everybody that said hello to myself, and hello to the people that didn't say hello to me. Thanks for coming.
Peace, everybody.
Hello to everybody. And it's currently 60 degrees here in Santa Cruz.
Oh, boy.
Hey, man, Andrew, man. Good statement. Quit trying to be like Eddie and be yourself. I support you on that one.
Mm-hmm.
My own personal opinion, of course.
Yeah, but it's cool. It's cool to play those licks and to play those guitars.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's cool.
It's fun.
As Ron talks from Dante's Inferno.
Well,
I could do that, or I could make it sound like an alien.
Oh my gosh. Let's see. Who do we have here? We got MPN. MPN is here. Good to see you. MPN, when are we going to see you again, man? We haven't seen you in a while. Dwight Bailey
Yeah.
is here. Let's see. Mike Olson is here. Cheech is here. Lewis.
Where's Chong?
I don't know. I don't know. Ryan
We have-
Fraley is here. Ryan, you were the winner last night of the guitar strings, right? Was that you? I hope it was. Anyway, if it was, I think it was. The strings are sitting right there, and I'll be shipping them out first thing Monday. And speaking of giveaways, again, we're giving away this Heyday wireless speaker, Bluetooth enabled. So all you got to do is participate in the chat.
Would have
Just
been great
talked-
if you dropped that again.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Well, it's in the box. It's brand new. Unopened. So yeah, we're giving this away tonight, later on tonight. So participate in the chat. Speaking of giveaways, let's mention this, I guess, too. Tuesdays, you guys know, we do a show called Exclusively Van Halen. We talk all things Van Halen. I call it OU81 Tuesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific. And this Tuesday, I'm giving away a copy of the Life magazine. It's the All Van Halen issue. I think they came out a couple years ago. And they've recently been reissued. So I grabbed a few copies of those, and we'll be giving those away starting this Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, on Exclusively Van Halen, the EVH show. So if you want to win a copy of that, tune in. And really quickly, also tomorrow night is the Guitar ASMR show, and I'll be featuring Sonic Cake pedals. You guys, I did a video. I did a live video. I don't know, a couple months ago with these pedals, and I'll be doing another one tomorrow, 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific, right here on Johnny Bean TV, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. And I'll be featuring the Sonic Cake pedals, such as the Levitate, which is a delay, the Tone Group, which is an EQ, and the Warped Dimension, which is modulation, a chorus, flanger, phaser, and tremolo. And I may be giving the pedals away, too, on a future Sunday night episode. So make sure you smash that subscribe button. Get us to 10,200. And, yeah. Yeah, see, we do a lot of stuff here. We do a lot of giveaways, a lot of cool things.
Well, I want to say hey to S. McMillan out there, and I've got to give Janice Lala a shout out. She sent me some lyrics that she wrote like 30 years ago. It's a song called Industrial Town, which I'm going to turn into a metal piece and hopefully get Danny to play drums with me too. Hopefully next week.
Yeah, that's
So-
Oh,
cool.
right on.
She's getting lyrical credit for that when it comes out. And I'll probably send it to Hippie too.
Uh-huh. Cool.
So thanks, Janice. You rock, Janice.
Janice. Yeah, Janice rocks. Janice the intern? Of course. Let's see. Oh, that's cool. You guys know, I just got a notification. Do you guys know the band America?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Horse
guys
with
know
no
that?
name and
Yeah.
Sister Golden Hair.
Yeah. Yeah. The bass player in the band America is a Facebook friend of mine. I just got a notification from them on my phone. But I bring this up because one of the notifications, have you guys heard about the brand new social media platform called Threads?
Yeah, you were talking about it's an Instagram version of Twitter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, it's next to Facebook. It's one of the largest growing platforms there is. Like, it just debuted like a few days ago. It's already like surpassed pretty much every other platform there is as far as growth. So if you have an Instagram account, you can automatically have a Threads account. You just have to activate it. And it's a pretty cool place. It's pretty
Ryan.
awesome. I've been over there posting pictures of Ned, of course, which I've been calling Ned Threads.
Hey, I gotta say, hey, Dana, and what's happening, Ryan Hall?
Yeah, Ryan
What's
Hall's
up, dudes?
here.
Yo.
Someone else. Tim Thomas.
Lewis. I see you guys.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you guys are on Instagram, you can automatically make an account for Threads, and it really is. It's becoming one of the largest, fastest growing platforms there is. So if you're not on there, you should get on there. Is all I'm saying. Anyway, the bass player from America just accepted me on there, and
that's cool.
We're connected through Facebook. That's why I brought the whole thing up. That's how I thought of that. But yeah, that's one of those bands I would love to go and see. That every once in a while they're like playing like the fairgrounds, you know, like pretty close or whatever.
Thanks, Michael.
But yeah, one of my favorite bands. You know, they got some great songs.
To prove this isn't a green screen. See?
Patty's
crazy,
in the chat.
man.
Patty's in the chat. Patty's in the chat.
Hey, Patty. Yeah, Patty was in my chat earlier when I was live on Twitch doing some GTA.
Shout out to Zims. I'm not sure if you saw Zim's Facebook post today, but Sean McNabb from Lynch Mob was in the store, which is, I wish I would have been there because that guy's a beast, man. That guy's great.
Mm-hmm.
He was a bass player for Lynch Mob. He was out. Dane had pictures of him hanging out today. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool. I've got him on TikTok.
Dane posted
what was that, Ron?
A short of him. Dane posted a short of him playing an acoustic bass.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's like 20 seconds or 30 seconds long.
Mm-hmm. So what was he doing? Why was he in town? Are they on tour?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure that guy lives in L.A. His wife is a newscaster in L.A. from what I remember.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty sure he lives in L.A. But there's probably like strong ties with. I don't know. I'm just assuming. Maybe he's. I don't think he's with Lynch Mob anymore. There's somebody else playing now. But I don't know. Maybe he's just hanging out. Maybe he watches the show, and he hears us talking about Sim's guitars all the time. So he's like, okay, I gotta go see this for myself.
Maybe. I think him and I think we're actually TikTok friends.
Raymond.
So it is very possible that he does see my promotions for these, and who knows? I don't know. Although I did send anyway, that's cool. Raymond, what's up, dude? Oh, you're saying you saw America back in 75 or 76 with Eric Carmen. Right on, man. Dude, Raymond, you've seen the shows, man. Speaking of shows,
speaking of Lynch Mob and shows, they're going to be here in Ohio on the 14th and the 15th. And then the 29th, they're going to be in Lebanon, Oregon. And wait a minute, you can hold that up. You can see it.
Sky.
Oh yeah, they got new dates. Yeah.
Everybody squint.
There, it's working.
Oh, there we go. Guitars Under the Stars. Oh, I've heard of that. Yeah. Cool. Lynch Mob. Cool. So they're going to be in your part of town then, Ron?
Yeah, Pickerington's about an hour and a half away. Which that's actually where Dane was from. Or initially, he was from like Granville and Lancaster area, so that's only like probably 25 minutes from his old house. Because Dane was originally from Ohio.
I didn't know that. That's cool. So are you gonna go to both shows?
I'm going to go to the one in Pickerington on the 15th.
Thanks, Raymond.
Cool.
My son's supposed to get us tickets, so.
Cool.
Yeah, don't pass up the Lynch Mob show. Lynch is always fun to watch. He doesn't disappoint.
I think he's got better the older he got. I mean, I saw some films my friend Scott took down in his house in Houston with him just jamming, and I thought it was the best thing I've ever seen him play.
It's just he's just so he's so cool. I mean, like he's like we don't have Ed anymore, and it was for me personally it was Van Halen, and then it was and then it was Lynch, and then it was DeMartini. Those are my top three. And then we lost Ed, so now like Lynch is my number one. And then you go to these venues to see him, and he's always so cool. It's like like I met him, and I took the Bones guitar with me, and my girlfriend and I got some really cool video and some pictures. And I said, "Hey George, I just want to thank you for everything that." You rubbed off on me from wrestling shoes, from wearing wrestling shoes. And he goes, he started laughing, and he goes, "Hey, it was a good idea at the time." And I thought that was funny that he said that. But, he wore wrestling shoes, and everybody in high school wore wrestling shoes in 1989 if you were a Lynch fan. And he was just really cool, signed everything, and, very attentive and very talkative with regards to I talked to him about the Arcane pickups, the Mr. Scary pickups. And, we talked for a while about guitar stuff, and, he builds his own guitars. So he's pretty knowledgeable about talking about guitar stuff. So I sat there and, just talked to him for a while about guitar stuff. Super cool guy, so it's nice that when you meet somebody that they're cool, because I've had run-ins with people where they were not so cool. So it's always cool when
like who?
You're number one or number two. No, your number one or number two guy
I can tell you
ends up being the cool guy. I would never tell them because maybe they were just having a bad day, and I respect them so much to where I wouldn't badmouth them. But somebody was talking about DeMartini the other day, and they said the guy's just very reserved. I was watching something last night, and they said he's just a super quiet guy, and he was every time I met him. He's just very quiet and very, just didn't have much to say, and just a super quiet guy. But I mean, you strap a guitar on that guy, and he's just on fire, So it's pretty cool. Personalities are cool like that because you would think that DeMartini would be very boisterous, from what my experience is with him. And he's always been very reserved, very quiet, very soft-spoken, and really cool. So, every time I've met him, so.
Yeah. Yeah, Cheech. Here we go. Cheech is saying, they say don't meet your heroes because they only let you down.
Yeah, I've heard that.
I can't, I think I've met most of my heroes, and they were always super cool. I mean, they were. The only experience that I can, and I've said this before. The only, I guess, hero. I guess. I mean, at the time, I met. Well, I don't know if he was my hero. I met the band Winger. Okay, and I got to talk to each member, and I remember talking to Rod Morgenstein. Paul Taylor, I think, was the other guy. Reb Beach, I gave him one of my guitar picks, and then when I got to Kip Winger, I remember asking him, and I think we talked about this before on another show. I said, "What was it like at the Cabo Wabo?" Because he had been there because he was on the MTV thing, and he's like, "Yeah, it was all right," He didn't seem like real excited about it. And then I remember him like yelling at this girl because she tried to take a picture of him and her camera kept jamming, and he's like, "Move along." He's like, yeah, he really wasn't friendly.
What year was that?
That was 90. So it was In the Heart of the Young, I think, is what the album was. And I saw them that night. It was Kiss, Winger, and Vixen. Was the show. This was in Lincoln, Nebraska, and it was a great show. And actually, I have a friend who watches these shows sometimes. My friend Joe, he had met the band Vixen like several times, and they had always remembered him every time he would meet them and see them. And anyway, that was the only most most rock stars or celebrities or heroes or whatever that I've met outside of the Kip Winger thing has always been pretty cool.
Shoot, that night that I saw those guitars with backstage at the Costa Mesa Amphitheater, Zeke Clark was riding around on his bike, and I stopped him and I go, "Hey man, we're in lawn seats tonight, and the chances of me getting a guitar pick from Edward are slim to none. So I'm just wondering if you have anything." And he goes, "Give me a minute." And the guy rode down the huge driveway, came back up, and gave me and my buddy guitar picks out of a Ziploc bag. I mean, like it's cool stuff like that you remember. I still got the picks. I got one. I got an Eddie Van Halen one, and I got one that says Red Rocker, and it was a Sammy. So he gave a Sammy and a Van Halen pick.
So that was a Right Here, Right Now pick.
That was 93. Yep.
So that pick would say something on it.
Oh my God!
It would have his signature, and it would have like
pick.
Oh, look at this.
Let me pull them out, Johnny. This is going to be a mess because I probably have 300 picks in here.
This is the rest of the show.
Yeah, this is pretty cool, actually.
Oh my gosh!
But anyways, talk amongst yourselves. I'll find them.
Okay, we will.
Hold on.
Oh no, he dropped it.
I'm dropping them all over the place. They're all over the place. This is from that's from Phoenix.
Oh no way!
Laying on
That's
the
the
floor.
Eddie. Oh,
Laying on the floor.
Blaze on. Oh my gosh.
Buddy, I have so many. Like this is ridiculous. Like every time I went to a show, this is ridiculous. Hey, Jeff LeBar. Jeff LeBar, rest in peace.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
he used those bigger picks. The
Brad Gillis.
Did you hear on the Eddie Trunk show one day, some guy who was a Jeff LeBar big fan called into Eddie Trunk and wanted to know why there was nothing, they weren't going to do like some kind of memorial show or something like that for him, like they did like for Randy and Eddie. And Eddie just basically told him Jeff LeBar wasn't that famous, more or less.
Heather, love you, Heather.
Why is this camera not going in focus?
Yeah, I have I personally have a problem with that because, in my opinion, I think Jeff LeBar was a big part of Cinderella. That's another Jeff LeBar. And I got these from him in San Diego. I was backstage at 4th and B. It's a place downtown. And I was standing out back, and that's the night that I drove his guitar tech up to Burbank Airport, and there was a recording studio there, and Bob Rock from it's very near the airport. It's very near the airport
because I was just there. Burbank Airport. That's the one where you go outside. Yeah.
Somebody will comment here in a second, and they'll be like, "That's blah 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 studios." But we got out of the car. Listen to this. We got out of the car, and oh my God, my ex-wife was going to kill me. I said, "Hey, I can't come home. This guitar tech for Cinderella wants me to drive him to L.A." And she goes, "You're crazy." And I go, "Well, sometimes I just got to do stuff." So I drove him up there, and we pulled in, and Bob Rock from Nelson comes out because he's going on tour for him now. He's going to be his tech. And so I dropped him off, and Bob Rock walks out, and he goes, "You see that garage door over there?" And I go, "Yeah," because he said something about Van Halen. And I go, "Oh, I'm a huge Van Halen fan." And the guy goes, "Do you see that big garage door over there?" And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "That's called Strawberry Fields. That's where Van Halen stores everything that they own. It's stored at Strawberry Fields." So I don't know. I never heard anybody comment about that again. But if somebody in the chat knows something about that, they can back me up because that guy seemed pretty sure of himself when he said that. He said that's where Van Halen stores all their There are stages. That's where everything's stored at. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Dang.
So I don't know if it's true or not, but
I was just there.
yeah.
I was there.
Hey, Johnny, remember these?
No wonder that's my favorite airport. I never saw those, but is that the one that says I saw it or
Yeah.
whatever?
Yeah.
Dude.
Buddy, I have.
Oh my
Couldn't
gosh.
see it there either.
We haven't even talked.
Yeah,
about
we couldn't see it, but I know what I knew what it said.
This is ridiculous. But so I found the Eddie one. This is the Eddie one that Zeke gave us.
Oh. Oh my gosh.
So, and I got the
How
Sammy.
how thin or thick are those things?
It's extreme. It's like a 60. It's extremely thin. Now Sammy's was heavy, and I got probably at least 100 guitar picks laying here, so I got to dig through this and try to find it. But his is cool because it says Red Rocker on it, and it's got the Van Halen logo on the front, and then on the
I can guess. I'm not going to say it until you show it, but I can guess something about it.
can't believe I still don't have this stuff. Here's a Brad Gillis. Brad Gillis from Night Ranger. He uses those weird picks too.
And to fill in for Randy when Randy passed.
Yep. Yeah. Oh yeah, he did.
Hey,
He was
S.
offered.
McMillan,
He was
man.
actually offered a job.
Hey, S. McMillan, it's PayPal at Robert Stingle. If you wanted to help me out, man.
What are you selling, Robbie?
No, it's helping
He's hungry.
me get my gong, you know.
Oh,
That's
how
good.
far away are you? Like $700 or something?
$750. So yeah, that would be greatly appreciated if you could do anything. But I mean, I never looked at these guys like heroes. I never looked at them like, when I jammed out with Jeff Wheatland when he was a teenager. He's always going to be Jeff Wheatland to me. He's not Zach Wilde to me. He's Jeff Wheatland. He's the kid that I jammed with. When I hung out with the Outlaws, Huey Thomason, he wanted to see me play. We hung out in my gong with my gong in my van. You know what I'm saying? I watched them 3 feet away too. It's when I saw George Lynch, when I see him at the factory, nobody knew who he was then. It was like 1984. He made it in Japan, so he became well known there. But when he was at the factory, he was just kind of running around getting parts, this and that. So I guess I got a different perspective when it comes to this kind of thing.
This is the gold Eddie Van
Standard.
Halen pick when they said not to throw them out. Remember when they told him not to throw picks out on the tour? So if people ran into Ed, him and Wolfgang had these gold picks.
2012?
Yeah, and they would just hand them out because they were told not to throw picks out on that tour. And here's the Sammy one there.
Oh, wow.
Um,
I've never seen that one.
So it's got his autograph on it. Sorry. So in and then back out, right?
Yeah, that's what she said. Oh, wow.
So and then on the back it says Red
Oh
Rock.
no.
Wow. Dude, you got some pics.
Buddy, I have a freaking. This is ridiculous.
Oh my
I'm pretty sure I already put the Doug Aldrich away. I think I already told that story when he came out the stage at Sir. And I said, "Hey, I'm not trying to be corny or anything, Doug, but I was wondering if I could just have your pick." And he goes, "Oh yeah, for sure, man." And just handed it to me. The Ted Nugent picks. I was at the NAMM show, and he was walking by, and he reached in his pocket for something, and picks went all over the place. So I was helping him pick them up to give them back to him. I was picking them up to hand them back to him, and he just handed me a couple. He goes, "Oh, here, you can have these." And I was like, "Oh, thanks, Ted."
Oh, Heather, I know, man. No, don't sweat it, Heather. I love you. I love Al too, man. Just the thought. Thanks, man. Really, from the heart. You rock, Heather, man. Continue, Mr. Grit.
You didn't call him
I'm gonna put
Uncle
these
Ted?
away. No, I mean, Ted Nugent's cool and stuff, but I wasn't.
What year was that?
That was the year that Dweezil Zappa was debuting the Wiggy. because I was going to watch him debut the Wiggy,
What's the Wiggy?
the PV amp that was his signature amp is called the Wiggy. And
I never saw that.
yeah, I was standing there waiting for Dweezil Zappa to show up, and Ted Nugent walked by me, and then he reached in his pocket, and all those picks went all over the place, and I was helping him pick them up, and he gave me a bunch of them, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool." So.
His Ranger bass boat is white and black zebra stripe too.
Yeah, he was super nice. I mean, like super nice guy. So no complaints with Ted Nugent.
I met Dandy Don Garlitz at Raceway Park in New Jersey, and he was I'm just not going to say he was terrible. It's absolutely terrible.
I don't even.
But
know
he
who
had
that
his
is.
original. He's had his original
Big
Tap Fueler dragster there. But
Big
yeah,
Daddy Don.
you could not talk to him. He was pissed all the time, perpetually. Yeah.
When I worked some of the shows, we worked for Aerosmith, and you were not allowed to even talk to them. That's right when they went clean, drug free. They stayed in the dressing room, and we had orders, literally orders. When they come out, you don't look at them, you don't talk to them, you don't do nothing. There's just, they were afraid someone's going to offer them something, and they can't say no. Apparently, they couldn't. But what was amazing, you used to see in the videos of them guys, and I'm 6'1", and they came up to my shoulder. They're like 5'5", 5'6".
Yeah, little.
But
Yeah.
And they weigh maybe 110 pounds. It's all of them. I was like, my God.
I saw a picture the other day of Joe Perry with somebody, and it was like, oh my God, like they were just towering over him. So
It
Joe
was
Perry
like at
just super small.
At the factory, all these hair bands walked through there, and they were all like munchkins. I swear. It was like I couldn't believe it. That's was like George Lynch stood out above them because he was like normal sized,
Yeah, he's not short.
But yeah, and we'd get the whole bands, whichever band it was, Motley Crue, or you guys know all these metal bands, and I just pretty much was like, oh, more of these guys, But yeah, so yeah, I've seen them, and they are small. Yeah.
Yeah, I ran into Eric. Eric Turner was at the SUR. He was. I think Eric Turner was affiliated with Wild West Guitars. I think he was a co-owner or something. And I was working on a guitar one day, and he walked up behind me, and I turned around and I go, "Oh, hey, you're Eric Turner." And he goes, "Oh, hey, man, what's going on?" Like nobody even recognized who he was. I was like, "Hey, you're Eric Turner." And he's like, "Oh, hey, thanks, man."
Short people rock too. Yeah. Hey, Dakota, how's it going?
Hey, man. Well, I'm only 3'2", so we do rock.
I get confused for garden gnomes occasionally.
Mm-hmm.
The bigger gnomes, that they have some larger ones.
There was a lead singer in a very famous band in the late 80s, and their first tour, they had come to Wheeling, and I was working the show. So you work the show. I was a loader. So we stood in the back of the semis and just pushed the stuff to the end of the semis. That was all we had to do. So we were the first ones done for the unload, and then the last one's done at the end of the night. So you eat breakfast, eat lunch, and eat dinner with these guys. So I'm sitting with this entire band except for their long blonde-haired singer, who's very skinny. And he comes through the door, and he's looking around. He's going, and I'm looking at those guys. So what the hell's wrong with him? They're like, well, he wants you to kiss his ass because he's here. And this was their first tour on their first album, and he only lasted 2 or 3 albums, and they got rid of him. So there was dissension in the band in the very beginning. I don't want to say his name. I just say skinny, blonde hair, and
what's one of their songs?
What?
I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. Probably.
Usually,
Yeah, I
you
will
saw him.
say
He was
this.
never wearing a shirt, right?
Well, it was leather pants and no shirt. Yeah. And
Okay, I know who you're talking
their
about.
bass player had an ear ring and a nose ring that was connected.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh boy. Well, that just gave it away.
Well, I was sitting there eating. It was lunch with those guys, talking to them, and they were already like, "Oh yeah, there he is." You know, he's acting. You know, and he did. He acted like he was. You know, everybody should worship him.
Like he
I
walks in
didn't
the
say
room,
his
everybody
name.
needs to stand up and bow.
Yeah, that's and I mean this was their first tour, and they're already like, now this you could just see that there was no love lost there.
I got to shout out Zach Thong. Thank you, buddy. I got to shout out Daddy, one of my biggest supporters on every video I put out. So thanks, Rock Daddy.
Mike also, no, I will say it wasn't Warrant, and I have a picture. I'm trying to find it so I could show it on one of these Saturdays. Warrant opened up for Rat, and when they were done their last song, they were in Wheeling, West Virginia, and they said, "Hey, where's a bar around here that we could party after we're done?" So everybody said the Swing Club, and they said they're going there. Well, no one believed it, so a bunch of us who were in bands went over there, and sure as can be, all of Warrant walked in the door, and I got pictures of me sitting with Janie Lane, and we were all on stage together. There must have been 40 of us on just playing old Black Sabbath songs and everything else. And our bass player was with us at the time, and he had a camera, the old the 110, the little rectangle little Kodak thing, and he took a bunch of pictures. And I have a couple. I'm trying to find them so I can show them.
Oh,
especially
cool.
since Janie's passed. But I mean, he was extremely nice guy. The whole band was. They were all nice.
I've got that on that. I was telling Johnny before we started that I was talking about that NAMM show video a couple weeks ago, and I found it. And there's pictures of me standing. Janie Lane's walking down the aisle, and I was like, "Hey, it's Janie Lane." And then there's video of me standing next to him talking. I'm going, "Yeah, he's dead." You know, it's weird seeing that stuff now, you know. And then I did find that picture that it's probably Ed playing for 40 minutes, at least 40 minutes. He walks into the booth with the red, white, and black Wolfgang special, sits down, and then we figured out how to hook up audio because we were outside the booth and they had these headphones hanging. You pull them down, so we stuck it up to the microphone on the VCR, and man, he blew through Mean Street. He had a metal pick, so he's making all those crazy noises he used to make. And we walked out of that NAMM show. We got him walking in, we got him walking out, and we watched it. And we left that day just gigging like schoolgirls. I can't believe the video we got, blah, blah, blah. And then I said, we can never give this video to anybody. And then one day I was watching YouTube, and there's like 5 minutes of it on there, and I'm like, that's my voice. How did my voice get out? And I called him and I go, "Hey, did you sell that video?" He goes, "Yeah, I traded it for some rare Van Halen footage." I go, "Hey, man, let's not do that." But the cool thing is I had the entire video of him walking in, him walking out. He walks out. My buddy has the camera, and he goes, "Hey, Ed, thanks for the autographs." And he goes, "Yeah, no problem, man." And like walks out the back doors. It's what's the word? It's really cool to watch that now because he's no longer with us. You know, he's sitting there playing that quilted Wolfgang Sunburst that he favored. He had that day, and he had the red, white, and black. And then it's funny because I got video of Matt Bruck rolling in a black, red, and white 412 cabinet with the big head case that says Edward Van Halen on it, and it's Matt Bruck doing it, you know, which you wouldn't see Matt Bruck with a trolley now pushing anything, you know, he'd be pointing fingers, you know. It was kind of funny to see that.
Man, dude, that'd be amazing to see. I know you sent me some clips of it, but I can't see them because it won't.
Yeah.
It won't
No, I'll
show.
tell you. I'll send you something. I mean, like, I want to share it, but, you know, and then I was asking Johnny when we started, you know, I think I should put it on YouTube. And he gave me a couple ideas, so maybe I'll throw it on there. And I don't know. We'll see. But it's cool that I found it because I thought he had it, my buddy had it, and come to find he didn't have it. It had been sitting in a bunch of videotapes of mine, and I was like, "Oh, I found it!" So it exists.
Wow.
I want to think that was 90. Had to been 98. But yeah, 98 or 99. Maybe it's 99.
I'm trying to think what. Well, send me a screen cap if you can at some point, and okay, yeah.
Well, I got those posters that day. And that's like I said, that one's autographed. The Wolfgang special one where he's sitting on his Nomad, that Chevy Nomad. And so those were the posters they gave out. Maybe it was 99. I think it says 99 on the NAMM show footage. So maybe it is 99.
Wow. Dude. Awesome.
Robbie, you got next to show, don't you? Or something?
Yeah, I was working on some stuff. It was kind of ties in a little bit to what you were going to show with your Lynch recreations.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
All right, well, the next don't really tie into that. So we could do those first, and then I'll show the body later when you do your stuff. Well, we all remember this, right? This is Mike Olson's lawsuit, 1982, ESP neck. That was lawsuit Kramer. Came off of a Pacer Imperial, in which I am filling the neck pocket for, which is extremely close to the Pacer Special. His is just the beginning of the second half of 1982. So it's actually one piece of alder. The entire body is one piece of wood. They didn't do that very long at all. So this baby's all dressed. It's all dressed. It's all wooled. It's all crowned.
What's a nut width?
This is an R2.
Okay.
This is an R2 nut. And I started to shelve it. But I also filled all the holes, and it's sanded down. All it needs is 220, and then it's ready to go. You know, all it needs is a finish to 220 because I went over it with 80. Of course, not the fingerboard, but, you know, the rest. And it's ready to go down to Kyle at Dive Bomb. And he's going to shelf it because I'm going to send him the slammer nut. So it's going to be perfect, you know, when he mills it, and he's going to drill and countersink it, and just charge the $80 for the Unkert cut and glue job with the pieces of walnut in the tuning holes also. So this one's just about ready to go, right? All I got to do is sand it out with 220, and Kyle said he'd take care of the nut for me. So that's the 82. This is the 84 that I picked up to go along with it. I still got to sand it a little bit. You can barely see some of the logo. This is not going to have the headstock painted. This is going to show every bit of the surgery on it. And this is going on my 82 Bill Isaacson guitar, which was made around the same time as the first 5150s in 82. When he was going through all that stuff, I was hearing all about it because I knew people at the factory. So that's what this is going to go on when the surgery's done with this. This is going to be $80 also, although it's already shelved and drilled and countersunk. And it does have a little bit of a flute on it because it is 84. Whereas Mike's, as you can see, doesn't have a flute at all. And that's gold. And it's going to have a nice hangover on the shelf, too. Stuff that I just absolutely love, you know. So that is going to be just beautiful. And this one's ready to go. I got the holes filled. I got to sand it down. I got to sand it to get rid of the plugs. I've got all the plugs on the tuning key holes, and I've got the plugs on the string retainer holes, and those all have to be sanded down too. and then I'm going to go over this with the 220 when I'm done. I went a little bit far in the sanding down, so you can kind of see a little bit of marking on the edges, and I've decided to kind of leave it like that because it looks more worn in, and it'd be more appropriate for the 82 guitar. And I'm not painting the headstock. I'm gonna leave that. All I'm gonna do is clear coat it, and put the old logo on there and clear coat it with some Mr. Hobby, which is like you can only get in Europe. It's really good though. It levels out. It's a beautiful clear coat. I don't have to wet sand. I don't have to polish nothing. It's just spray and you're good.
Wait, so you're going to Europe to get that?
No, my friend in the Netherlands sent me a can of it. Yeah, my friend Patrick. My friend Patrick sent me a can of that. And so these are kind of ready to go. It's $80 a neck. Then it's $25 for him to ship back. So I'm figuring $25 for me to ship. It comes out for both necks to be about $210 for both.
That's a good deal.
Well,
Robbie,
when I get the money for that, and of course, I've all the money I have is going toward getting that gone first. But
what was the name of that
soon.
clear?
Mr. Hobby.
Mr. Hobby. Wow.
Yeah, it's like too toxic for America, but man, is it good stuff. I love it. I used to try to use Krylon, and I'd be polishing and wet sanding, and I'd go too much. I'd have to do it again, take it all off, do it again. It was a hassle. This is just like spray it on really light, do 4 or 5 coats. You're good. You don't have to do anything. It levels.
You're feeling good, huh?
It's great. It's great stuff. It's really good. So
Speaking of that flute, that flute you're talking about, look at this.
What's a flute?
Robbie, look at this. Look at that.
Good Lord. That's pretty darn chunky.
Look how thin that neck is.
I kind of like the profile. Wow, that's insane flute though.
That's the DeMartini performance. But that's Warren's neck. I mean, you can see that this neck is so thin. And
yeah, look at that.
It's crazy, man. Look at that. It's nuts.
So I can't really tell. I can't really tell by looking at it. Is that wizard thin?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Actually, wow. To be honest with you, it's probably thinner. These are R2s. Warren prefers an R2 nut. They're R2s. Now my snakeskin back there, it's got a little bit different neck on it. Because I kind of wanted a chunkier neck.
Chia.
So it's still pretty drastic, though.
This one kind of looks like the one I got from Adam, but where it's a little bit, you can't really tell too much. It's a little bit thicker, but god dang it, if I don't love that guitar. I've been playing the heck out of it, man. I really have. That's the Adam from FU Tone, large banana, one piece, non-tilt, from the Boogie Bodies necks at FU Tone. It's like $265. It's probably more now because I got that a couple of years ago, but it works. You might not be able to get the action super duper low, at least not on the first dressing, at least. But I'm happy with it. I love that guitar, man. You can see it in the Hangry video that I released this week with Danny playing drums. And you can see it on Powerhouse. Hangry, yeah. And you can see it on She's a Powerhouse, another video I did with that guitar. And there's also To Have and To Hold, which was another video I did with that guitar. So there's 3 on my channel using it so far. And yeah, so if you're up, if your back's against the wall, your pistols are out, and you can't find, your grail neck or a headstock that looks close enough to like the 5150 or something. And Adam at FU Tone, those necks he makes in Pennsylvania. It's got 13 workers.
Who is it?
Adam at FU Tone.
Hey now,
This is
Adam Reaver, fu-tone.com, and my less crappier promo reel for Johnny Beane TV. You're watching Johnny Beane TV. Check it out.
Thank you, Adam.
Hey, I wouldn't tell you.
Robbie saw him in the chat the other day, so he's like really talking him up now.
No, I've seen it a couple times. No, it's not that at all. It's not that at all. It's that neck works. Now remember, it's not finished at all. It is totally bare wood, and it comes dressed. You might want to dress it some more, to get it where you really want it. But it's not a double action truss rod. It's a regular truss rod. It's got the adjustment on the heel. It's a good neck for whatever 260, 70, 80, whatever it is now. Yeah. I wouldn't tell you if it didn't work and I didn't like it, and I do like it.
I'll tell you if it wasn't for FU Tone this week, I would have been in trouble because I actually pulled this out. It's funny that Robbie's talking about it because I pulled this out today to talk about.
Oh, dude!
So this is a FU Tone pickup mounting system, and what this is for is I've used one of these in my Frankenstein. The EVH Frankenstein to boost that humbucker up because I pulled it apart and there was like a piece of foam with springs on it. And I don't know, it's just a better seat. It's a better mount in my opinion. And it makes it really easy. So I bought a guitar last week and I got it and here, I'll debut it. Hold on.
Nice. By the way, thank you for subscribing. Where is that? DZL. Thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. We're really trying. Yes, we're really trying to get to 10,200 subscribers this month. We're really trying. So thank you so much, DZL, for subscribing. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, the PMS. I have one of those. That I got several years ago, and I still have to put it into a guitar.
Well, I'll tell you, if it wasn't for Adam this week, because I just buy stuff to keep here. Like I got all those Floyd Roses and stuff, because the worst thing ever is when you have a guitar project and you go to pull your parts out and you don't have the part. You have to wait a week to get the part, and you're like, okay, and then you're kind of beyond it that, at least that's how I am. So I've got a stock of everything. I've got an inventory of everything. So now I've got to go back and buy more of these. But I bought this guitar, and I'd been watching it for a month, and I had showed it to my girlfriend probably a month and a half ago. And I said, hey, what do you think about this? And she goes, you should get it. And I said, I think I'm going to wait. And I was waiting, and then one day it popped up in my feed or something, and I said, I'm just going to get it. And I got it. And sometimes there's disappointments. Like I'm very blessed to have worked for I worked for Bill Zola at Zola Guitars in San Diego for years. That's where I learned how to build. And then I worked for John Suhr for 5 years. And I was lucky to learn, to be mentored under the people I was mentored under, work under master builders at Fender. So I could pretty much fix anything on a guitar unless it's just not fixable. And then you have to make that determination. But this is interesting because I think I said my frustrating parts in the green room, and I wouldn't do that in public. But I will tell you that this is a Friedman. It's a Cali, and it was a 3-tone burst over purple over black. So it's a relic guitar, and it's supposed to look, it's just super cool. It's almost like an art piece, in my opinion. I think Dave Friedman. And then I went back and the place I bought it from, there's a video on YouTube interviewing Dave Friedman about it. He said, and Dave Friedman said, yeah, that's like a piece of art. So anyways, super cool guitar. But when I got it, it didn't have pickup mounts, and the pickups were sitting super deep in the cavity. So I said, well, that's not going to work for me. I know everybody adjusts their stuff differently, but that wasn't going to work. So
how did you know, just by looking at it or by the sound?
Okay, so people do things differently. That first of all, I have a gauge where I like to set my pickups, because remember, your pickup, your bridge pickup has to be even with the neck pickup. So when you switch over, there's not a boost there unless you want a boost. They should be matched evenly, and you do that on a clean channel. You match them out for height.
Right.
And then once that's done, then you should be dialed in. So I have a spec that I go by personally where I measure out, and it lands perfect every time. So I had emailed Dave Friedman, and I was talking to him about it, and I said, hey, I think my remedy of this is going to be a couple pickup mounting systems. And he said, yeah, I think that's a good solution. So that's what I did. And now they're adjusted where they should be, in my opinion. And but I did pull the Friedman pickups. They were reading 7K for the bridge, or 8K for the bridge, and 7K for the neck. So I pulled those, and I put SIRS in it. There's a SSH Plus in the bridge, and there's a Doug Aldrich in the neck. And then I had an extra set of Doug Aldrich bridge and neck, and I put those in my Grover Jackson this weekend. But it's hard to do that when it's 117 degrees outside, and you go out to work on your guitar in the garage and you can't. So I had to do it in small doses.
You go out there and it's melted.
Yeah, I mean, it's a cool guitar. I mean, it's cool, but
are you sure that finish didn't melt off?
It possibly could have. But what I was going to say is I was talking to my girlfriend, and I said, man, because I'm no spring chicken, so I was in and out of the garage going, man, it's just super hot, and I want to finish that guitar. And I said, who I really feel sorry for, and this is no jab at anybody, I just feel bad for the guys that don't really know how to work on guitars, and they go to Guitar Center and they buy a guitar, and the guitar was never set up correctly, and they don't ever get it set up correctly, so that's how they think the guitar plays. And that's why I'd recommend, if you don't think that your guitar is playing that good, take it to a shop and say, hey, you know what? I don't like this about it. And usually there's a setup guy there that can probably tweak it and get it going for you, because this, and it's no jab at anybody, but in my opinion, when you buy a guitar that's expensive, I mean, that thing, the Sir guitars, I will say, and I told my girlfriend this, I said, you know what? When we shipped it, and I'm doing plugs for John Sir again, Johnny. Here we go again, I don't even work for him anymore. But the bottom line is
and that's the bottom line.
We didn't ship guitars unless they were stage ready. That was John's rule. We're not shipping the guitar unless it's stage ready. So, as soon as they left final, they went to QC, and then Noel would go through QC. And he had no problem bringing them back to our bench and say, hey, you got you got low, actions low, or nuts cut too low, or, bring the nut up, or you have sitar on the B string, or whatever. They didn't ship. They didn't go, and so maybe I'm jaded now. Maybe I'm warped by working for a company like that. And then I go into these stores and I pick guitars up. I'm like,
and they're warped, and the necks are warped.
I'm like, this is ridiculous.
I have a question though. I have a question. So you guys would set up the guitars. You're saying stage ready. So you're saying you would basically, before you would ship a guitar, it would be like ready, like perfect, I guess is the word. But what if in shipping, do guitars settle at all in shipping? Like, is there any type of like would you backbow the neck slightly for shipping or less, or you know what I mean?
No, they so I will tell you, in the time that I was there, if we had a guitar that I can only think of maybe 2 times that a guitar came back from a customer and said, hey, I've got a problem with this. And they were very, Mike Pons, who's a Fender master builder, he was my boss, and he'd be like, "Hey, Mike, something you have to understand about the people that we build guitars for, they're not playing the guitar. They're attorneys and they're doctors, and they just want something to hang cool on the wall." And so that's why.
Well, those are good people to know.
That's why we had to be particular and make sure everything's right. So but on the flip side of that coin, there's a lot of great Sir artists, so I don't want to take anything away, but I know that me and Mike had that conversation one day, and he said, "Hey, we build guitars for a lot of people that just hang the guitar on the wall, but it doesn't matter. The guitar is going to leave here 100% ready for stage." And when they came out of the QC booth, they were ready to go.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, it's always good to, it's good practice to anything you send out, no matter who gets it, whether they're going to hang it on the wall, whether they're just starting, whether they're going to hit the stage with it that night, make sure it's quality and really, really set up.
I agree.
You can do that with it.
I agree with what you did with the spacer like that, getting it from FU Tone, and that makes it a lot easier. There was a comment in here saying that they hate wooden shims, and I'd imagine you could hate a wooden shim, but it's a different thing if you're actually making a piece of wood to custom fit in there perfectly to put the pickup onto.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of like what I do, but
you
without
could like that.
Without having to go through all that labor that I do to get it all, the wood perfectly done. That's a really good alternative to be able to bolt that in like that. So,
well, hey man, I shout out to FU Tone, because that guy is never, ever disappointed with regards to the stuff that you get from him. He's got good stuff, and I always love it when he sends out. I make I think I've mentioned it before. I make lists for FU Tone, and then when he sends out his discount codes, that I bombard him with a huge order, and I get my discount. But hey, FU Tone's got good stuff, man.
Well, I gotta say, Johnny, it is harder to make them, but if you put them perfectly in there, if you make it so it goes in there super tight, it's part of the body, then it's not going to shift. But you have to be willing to spend a whole lot of time to get it to fit perfectly in there. That's all I'm saying.
Well, they come with different heights too. So like that. So the theory on this is, the way that I mount these is I put it inside the cavity, and I mount the pickup screws into the body, and then I know it's lined up. Because most bodies are CNC now. So I'll go out these two holes, run them in, and then I punch these two holes, which are the mounting for the system, and I drill those out. Don't go too deep, because you'll go back through the spring cavity. Just tap them, and they run your screws in, and then it's mounted. Run them back out, run these two back out, and then these are going to be your mounts. Now, what's cool about this is this can be kind of tedious. I mean, I'm sure Adam does it a lot, but you have to eyeball which size you're going to use, how much distance you have to the distance of the strings, and they come with like 3 or 4 different sizes, and this is a size I would never use, because that's going to be sitting super deep inside that pocket for the pickup backing to be resting on that, and then you can adjust accordingly. If obviously your pickup should never be straight, because especially on a Floyd Rose, because you're going to have your treble E is going to be higher than your bass E. It should be, so your pickup shouldn't be even either, because you should be measuring your pickup distance from your springs. So obviously the pickup's going to go on there. It's going to be angled. It's not going to be sitting straight. It's going to be angled. So that does get it does get a little tedious going back and forth. But I got to tell you, man, I put one of these in my Frankenstein, and because I like tearing guitars apart when I get them, and I pulled it out. Like I said, there was a square piece of foam with a spring in the middle of it, and I said, it's garbage. I mean, like it's a probably not a tone killer, but I mean, there's better ways to do it. So I pulled that out, and I put one of those pickup mounting systems in there, and it sounds probably, I don't know, those Wolfgang pickups are pretty hot, so it probably doesn't sound any better, but at least the pickup's mounted better, because you could rock it back and forth. And that's something else too. Once you do the pickup mounting system, the pickup's not going to rock anymore. It's in there solid. These are in there solid. These will not rock.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well, technically, it'll make them rock harder.
correct if you're, sure. So,
It'll make you rock harder.
yeah. So, cool guitar.
It's the rating
Nice
of this
bird's eye
show.
neck.
Huh?
Bird's eye neck. Nice bird's eye on it. Go to Locking Tuners. I was talking to somebody the other day, and they go, I don't understand why people put locking tuners on a Floyd Rose. I understand 100% because John's theory was it's quicker to do a string change.
Right.
It's just super quick to change your strings out with a locking tuner. It's straight through the hole, pull tight, lock down, and then clip, and then
There's no there's no twisting.
no wind.
Huh?
There should be
There's
no winds on a. There should be no winds on a locking tuner at all.
No whining.
No winds.
No.
No shim.
What is that? No shims.
Robbie, did you ever get your shim?
No, that was he didn't get him. It was my fault.
Oh,
I mailed
You
him
ate
without
him?
the house. No, I ate. Oh, you ate one too. No, I mailed him to Robbie's town and to his street, but I forgot the house number. So just like last week, they came.
So they
back
came
to
back?
me. Just last week. So it's been all.
It's
this
Norman,
time.
Oklahoma. There's like 30 people there.
Well,
I
there's more
mean,
than
it
that.
had his name and his street, but they obviously, But the envelope came back and there was no shims in it.
Oh,
So there was no shims.
wait a minute. So the
someone in
mail
Oklahoma has
person
shims.
stole the shims?
I got the envelope back with no shims in it because I was going to write the address on it. with
Was
the
it
house
opened?
number. No.
Are you sure
I
you
don't know.
mailed them to begin with?
Yes. I had
No
them
shit.
in a little plastic.
What are you
Ziploc,
eating?
Jolly Rancher,
What flavor?
watermelon.
Oh, dude.
Oh.
But
Those
no,
are good.
I had him in a little plastic, just a real little Ziploc bag.
Shims
I put
thieves.
them in the envelope. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if they opened. I don't know how.
We got to figure this out, man.
Big stamp.
There's some
thing
loose
on it.
shims going on
Return-
in Oklahoma
return to-
somewhere.
Return to sender, but he didn't get him, and it was my fault.
That's all right. Don't worry about it, man.
So I'm going to make you a shirt, Robbie, that says no shims.
Oh, that's okay, man. You can keep your shirt too. I'm just not gonna, I don't spend time on stuff that is just not gonna be like working for me. I've got a lot of stuff going on now. I just don't have the time to worry about stuff like that.
Robbie,
But
send me
you
your
get-
address. I will send you all my Floyd Rose shims that I have in the garage.
There you go.
I'll send them all.
I will like
117 degrees.
that slammer nut though.
Yeah, I'm gonna go pull that out. I'll pull that out tonight or tomorrow morning, and then I'll send you a picture of it.
I'll send you my address in the messenger, man.
I'll give you the address.
Don't listen to Ron, please. It'll never.
Ron, read us the address that you have.
Do not read my address, Johnny. See, Johnny don't care because he has a PO box, so he don't care.
But it truly was my fault. I copied and pasted, and I somehow missed the actual house number. Had the
Jay,
street
Johnny,
and city and
man,
the name.
it depends what you're using the brass block on. It depends what kind of amplifier you're going through. Okay. Edward used steel blocks.
Mhm. Yeah, the
Okay.
5150 steel, right?
Because he was going through all tube amplifier.
Come here.
You're going to get overtones with the brass block. That's just from me. That's just my own experience, from playing through my Marshall, and that's what he encountered. And that's before he did all the, PV amplifiers and all that. Okay. That's when he was still all tube, no solid state preamp type stuff. So, Yeah, if you've got a modeler, if you've got a solid state preamp, if you've got a hybrid amp, or something like that, the brass block will work fine. It's only if you go through like a Plexi from like 71 that it's going to make a difference. Yeah, JCM 800 is that has a solid state preamp. That is a circuit board with a distortion channel. Okay. So that's what's called a hybrid amplifier. It has tubes. It has tubes in the preamp too, but the preamp tubes are hooked to a printed circuit board, and you're at the mercy of whatever diodes they used when they did that. So, I'm just pointing that out. It's nothing against those amplifiers.
No reflectors.
Just
What?
Robbie, Kyle put a steel in this. He said the 5150 had a steel block.
Yeah, Kyle's good, man. Yeah, Kyle's good, and he sells those steels, and I would have put one in mine, but I didn't have the money or the time, and I wanted to make a video, so I went with the regular 42 block that came with the Floyd Rose, and I didn't have the overtones with that, so I've left that in there. Thanks, Patty. Way to put Valerie out there, man. Thank you.
Patty in the chat.
Nice Dakota. I bet you that thing screams. All hardwired Marshall style type. I bet you that doesn't have a printed circuit board in it. But you got to be like, ridiculous like me, where everything has to be what it was like, in like 1982 or something. It's not practical for people, to have that kind of thing. Now, it's a little.
Why do you even have a cell phone if you're living in 1982? Why are you even here? Because there wasn't internet then.
It's not. Well, I had my 30-inch gong in '78, but
Randy Travis has a song 1982.
The 20 watt makes it a little bit easier, But nowadays, with all the the solid state preamps and the modelers and all this, are going through your computer, that makes a difference. That's why I like the 20 watt Studio Vintage, because it's a Plexi, but it's a 20 watt and it doesn't have any circuit board, and you can get that sound out of it, and that's why I like it so much. Because when I was a kid, I had a 71 Plexi, and like you said, shake the walls. Yeah, I turned it up all the way all the time. I blew out transformers every couple of months, but that was the sound I loved, so that's what I did. Oh yeah, with Gibson pickups that weren't wax potted either. So yeah, it was really hard to keep that under control. But
hey, speaking of not wax potted, remember those Frampton pickups I got that I emailed you about, Robbie?
Right.
Those aren't wax potted, man. I mean, that's crazy. I'm not going to. I bought some of those MJ. They're signed by Frampton, so I'm just going to leave them in the bag. But they MJ did those special wines. They only did like so many sets, and Frampton signed them.
Wait,
I know. Well, he's recreating the pickup he used when he was playing. They didn't have wax potted pickups.
Yep.
It goes crazier to that. Like Ted Nugent going through 335s. He was palming his stuff all the time. I had to always palm my. I had a double neck. It wasn't even a hollow body, and it was still. I still had to fight that. I still had to keep my palm on that bridge all the time, or it would squeal like a pig. So yeah, I was used to that from way back. And again, no offense. All those amps are great. Anybody that's playing any amp through any guitar, that's a great thing.
There you go.
Hey, did you get that Helix dialed in, Ron? Did you get that thing dialed in?
Pretty much. We're getting there now.
Oh.
But if you say Johnny's famous, if you say Johnny's name,
oh my
in reverse, it comes back. Me be nice. Seriously, watch. Johnny Beane. Me be nice. Me be nice. Me be nice. Me be nice. But then if you say me be nice, it says Johnny Beane. Me be nice. Johnny Beane. Johnny Beane.
I gotta get you doing a channel ID saying that, man.
That's
Do the whole channel ID backwards.
But I could do it this way too. Or duck delay, or we can do some mod course echo.
Wow.
But
I like the twin harmony one.
It's like
You can crank call people with that voice.
You pull up, get on the computer, and all of a sudden it says,
Get off the internet.
"Okay, I'll be right off."
So you're talking through the Helix, basically.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna get the. Now my mind just went blank.
Focusrite.
The interface, and then I was looking through the thing. They're like, "Well, this is the interface also for guitar and microphone." I was like, "Well, okay, that'll work." So, but yes, to answer your question, 40s. It's coming along, and you got to be like a rocket scientist to figure it out completely. But thank God the YouTube videos.
I'm just happy I got this one.
Is that your real voice?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Dude, when you get the phone calls from the tax guy or whatever, or the spamming calls, you just answer in that voice.
Hello? No, I don't want any.
He's not here.
So, Mr. Grit,
Welcome to hell.
can you show us your Lynch guitars?
Well, we were talking about this before we went on, so I figured I'd bring this one out. I was going to tell this. This is a really cool what happened. I like Lynch, and I had I think I had the limiteds of these, and because I just didn't want to spend the money, and they're kind of heavy, and so I went through them and I put Floyd Roses on them and everything, and then one day I got tired of not having the real thing, and I restored them all back to regular. I sold them off, and probably a couple months after that, my buddy texted me one night on OfferUp, and he goes, "Hey, are these real?" And this one was there, and the Skull and Snakes was on OfferUp, and they were priced at $500. And I said, "No, they're counterfeit." And he goes, "Yeah, I figured. Okay, thanks, bro." And I was like, "No problem." So I went to bed that night, and I blew the picture up, and I was looking, and I saw the ESP on the neck pickup, and I was like, "Wait a minute, those are real." So I woke up. I was off the next day, thank God, and I texted the person that night, and I said, "Hey, are those guitars still available?" And she said, "The one with the skull on it," or it was a she, but the person said, the one with the skull on it sold. And but she said, "But that Tiger one's available." And I said, "Okay, I'll take that. I think I'm going to take that." And she said, "Okay." I said, "When are you available?" She said, 12 o'clock tomorrow. So I drove over to the area, and I parked. I called her. I said, "Okay, are we still on?" She goes, "Yeah, just come to that. You come to this address, and you're gonna have to walk up the driveway." So I walk up the driveway, and it's this person's house. They're repainting the stucco. They're just doing all this crazy stuff, and there's a lot going on. And I said, "I'm here for the Tiger guitar." And she goes, "Oh yeah, sure." So she goes in the house, grabs it, comes out. I open it up. I look at it. I'm like, okay, I'm looking at it. I check the neck. I was looking at everything. I said, okay, everything looks solid. And then I saw the serial number, and I knew that it was old. And I said, "That's an old one." I said, "Okay, I'll take it. Thank you so much." And it came with the ESP case. And then I said, "Is that Skull and Snake still available?" And she said, "Yeah, the guy's supposed to be coming to pick it up at 6 o'clock tonight." And I said, "Okay." I negotiate every day at work. So
did you leave and then come back with like a mustache and glasses
no,
on?
I pulled it. I gave her my best salesman. I gave her
Yeah,
my
I'm
best
that
sales
other guy.
manager move. I gave her my best sales manager move, and I said, "Okay, this is what I'm going to do." So she brought the Skull and Snakes. I go, "Well, can I look at it?" And she goes, "Yeah." So she came out, and I pulled it down. I'm looking at it, and I said, "Okay, this is legit." And I looked at it, and I said, "Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. The money's in my car, so I'm gonna pay you for this one, and I'm gonna give you $100 more. I'm gonna give you $600 for that one." I said, "So you go ahead and think about that, and I'm gonna walk down to my truck." So I walked down to my truck, and I pulled out all 20s to make the stack look bigger, and I walked back up. This place was a nice house. It was a beautiful home, and in Paradise Valley, Arizona. So like Paradise Valley is very nice. Scottsdale.
Wait a minute. Who lived there?
So he was a chiropractor, but this is a crazy story, man. This is crazy. And my girlfriend's like, only you can land on stuff like that. It's insane the stuff you land on. So I walk back up. I get a stack of 20s, so I got 1,100 in cash in 20s. And
I would have gone to the bank and got all dollar bills to make it look really huge.
So I go, yeah, like all dollar bills. And I go, so here you go. I said, this is so in one hand I had 500, in the other hand I had 6. I said, so here's for the Tiger guitar, or you can have the stack for both of them.
Oh.
And it was a lady, and she looked at her friend and she goes, what do you think? And she goes, I think that you should do it. And I said, hey, a bird in the hand's worth 2 in the bush. And she goes, okay, I'll do it. So I got this one, and I got that one for $1,100. And these are $4,000 guitars, Johnny or Robbie.
Now, the back of that neck, there is no glue seams.
No.
It's legit. That's let me see the neck heel. Okay, so that's probably 86.
Yeah.
Maybe 87.
Yeah.
Probably
I agree
87.
with that.
So that neck is worth $1,500 on its own. And that's all maple, that body?
Yep.
Man. Yeah, that's like you said, that's $4,500, $5,000 that guitar right there.
So the story gets better. Listen to this. So then I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I just got both these guitars for the.
So you dated her daughter.
Like, no, I said, I can't believe I got both these guitars for what I got them for. I mean, this one is got the ESP stamp on the back, and it's super cool. It's got the Screaming Demon in it, which I'm not a fan of. That one is so old. It's got the custom in it. I believe that's a Duncan custom in that guitar. Nice. So, yeah, that's a custom.
I like that guitar, Mr. Grit.
Yeah, that's a good one. Thanks, pal. So I go, hey, if you don't mind me asking, what is going on here? Because there's like a lot of commotion and stuff. And she goes, he died. And I go, oh my God, are you serious? And she goes, yeah. And he was a big fan of whoever this guy was. And I go, yeah, it's George Lynch. He was in a band called Dokken. And she goes, oh, I remember Dokken. And I was like, yeah. So I started talking to her. I said, hey, I build guitars. I'm a big Dokken fan. And hey, they're going to a good person. I go, he didn't have any family? And she goes, no, he's got a sister. And she paid us to sell off his estate and blah, blah, blah. So I was like, okay, cool. And so then I'm getting ready to leave. And she goes, there's something inside that I want you to take. And I think he would want you to have it. And I go, oh, really? And she goes, yeah, hold on a second. So I'm going to go grab it. It's going to take me 2 seconds, but check this out. This is cool.
Oh, my gosh. What do you guys think it is? Look, he just left. Okay, we don't want to see. I'll take him out. Okay, so we don't see what he has. Okay, I see what it is. Are you ready? Ready to show what it is? In the chat, can you guys guess what he went and got? Is anybody even here? All right, you ready? Look at this.
Wow, that's nice, Grit.
There you go.
Look how young he is.
Oh, wow.
So it's got a cool. This is when he was in his steroid usage, when he was weightlifting, but it's still a cool picture. But what's really cool about it is the ticket stubs with the Lynch picks in it. Like, this guy really liked Lynch. So
Dang.
and this thing's huge, man. I mean, this thing, I will never have a place to put this.
I do.
But
Right there on the wall.
It's a beast. I mean, this thing is just huge, man. It's ridiculously huge.
Wow.
So
she
anyway,
just gave that to you.
Yeah, she goes, I think that he would want you to have this because you're such a fan as well. Because I started talking to her and I was like, yeah, I got a lot of guitars and I like George Lynch and he's cool. And she was like, yeah, he would want you to have this. And I was like, okay. So she came back out and gave it to me and I threw it in I go, oh my God. So I got home and my girlfriend's like, what? Where is that going? And she likes George Lynch. She thinks he's handsome. And I go, we'll just put it above the bed. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
So, yeah. So
yeah, hey, Mr. Grit, I'm really impressed with that. That 85, 86 reverse banana, 48th Street ESP neck, beautiful. R5, nice.
that's a hard one to stumble on now, man. I mean, like you don't, and when you do see them, they're pricey.
Well, you can't even find the parts for that. There is one non-tilt at Alien Nation that I think he's selling for like $2,000, and it's like Lynch painted, but somebody else did it. But that's probably about the best neck out there. It's been there forever because people aren't going to buy it. But I've already got my two, Grail reverse ESP necks, one stamped from 82. So, I'm good. I'm not really looking for that kind of stuff anymore. But, yeah, very nice, Mr. Grit. My hat's off.
I'll leave that up there. Thanks, pal. Appreciate that. And then he did have another guitar, and I kind of dropped the ball on it because she brought it out, and it was a Bengal, like that. But it was a limited. And then come to find out, it's one of the rare limited ones. So I looked at it and I came back home and did some research and I go, oh, I should have bought it. And then my friend went and got it, and he got it for like $500 too. And then he came over one day and we were talking and I go, hey, why don't you sell me that Lynch? Because, the dead guy won't want me to have all of his guitars together.
Oh my gosh.
And he was like, oh yeah, I'll sell it to you for $1,000. And I go, man, come on, man. So then I think I gave him $1,000 for it though. But, that's in the closet. But it's like one of the more expensive ones. It was a LTD, and I think it's a made in Japan or something like that. And they're expensive. So
that was right when they started LTD. It was before LTD became like the budget line.
I read that they stopped doing those because you couldn't decipher the difference from the ESP and the LTD. They were so close in quality that they stopped doing it. And that's one of the ones that I have. So I was like, I gave the guy $1,000 for it, honestly, because
but now you really have to watch it because ESP's getting that same style of neck done in China, and they have a glued together headstock on it, and people are trying to sell it for a lot of money. So make sure it is not glued. Absolutely, make sure, because people will try to sell it for $1,500 or something, and it ain't. And it's coming right out of China. So yeah, you got to watch it. I guess a lot of guitar companies are getting pretty shady, But yeah, look out for that. If you're looking for a Grail, neck like that, a 48th Street type, yeah, none of them were glued anywhere on them. Mm-hmm. So that's total ripoff,
Yeah, I won't be getting rid of that one because you can't replace them. I mean, like, where am I going to get those guitars again for $500? You're not.
Right.
Have you kept in touch with that lady? And
so here's what happened with that. She said, well, it seems like you really know like pricing of stuff. And I go, yeah, I'm not too bad. And she goes, well, hey, if you don't mind, I do a lot of estate sales. Can I keep your information together to where, I mean, this guy had so much money. He had life-size Predators in his living room. Like the movie The Predator.
Oh,
he had life-size statues. He had life-size statues, and the wall was painted like a jungle, and he had like 3 Predators life-size standing in his living room. He had a gong, Robbie. He had a gong.
wait a minute.
Zildjian.
Just like,
Does he still have it?
all this stuff? This
Screw
was
you,
right
Ron.
about 5-6 months ago.
No,
Hey, Adam Long here is saying the original Lynch guitar was a Charvel. Now, those came out at the Kramer factory for 6 months. Kramer made a George Lynch model in 1986 that only lasted until ESP made the Lynch model. So those that came out of Kramer in 86 had the big fat heel, the square heel. They didn't have the different neck plate that was chopped on the side for easier access.
Hi.
Those were only made for 6 months before he went to ESP to have them made. I disagree with your made by Charvel analogy there. Absolutely. And
Yeah,
that
I
was in
remember doing the
86.
Kramer thing.
And 85 was when they started to try to do something with George before he really made it in Japan. And they were kind of trying to go that way with it, but it really didn't happen much. And there aren't many of those, the Kramer George Lynch models.
I
Yeah,
saw
so
one on
those-
eBay not too long ago.
Well, and they go for a pretty good amount of money, or they should. I know Alien Nation had a couple of them. I was skeptical of, but
Yeah, everything they have is too overpriced. Let's get back to that house, though. That sounds... Wait a minute. So the guy had a gong, too.
Yeah, so the guy had a
Did you see it?
a gong. Yeah,
How big
What's
was it?
big.
you know
Probably
what
about the same
size?
size as the one behind Robbie.
Did it say
Oh, that's
Peisty on it?
That's a paste. That's a 32, but it actually measures almost 34.
Do you think
Yeah,
they
I
still
remember
have
when
that gong?
Probably not, because it was an estate sale, and I remember like a week or two after I bought those guitars, they had the actual estate sale when people came in the house and made offers on everything. So I'm pretty sure it's gone. And they were selling the house because they were painting the stucco. Like everything was happening at once. They were just selling everything off. And if I would have been a little bit smarter, I probably would have gone in, because she said he's got some amps and stuff. And I just kind of felt like I was stealing those already. So I didn't want to go in there and continue to steal. So I was kind of like, all right, well, hey, let me know if there's something else that, but going back to what you asked, she did text me that day and she goes, hey, what's price on this? What's price on that? What's price on this? So I was helping her price a lot of the stuff that he had. And,
Okay, so you still knew like what was in there. So if anything
Yeah.
did come across like you're like, oh, I got to get that.
yeah,
you know.
there was nothing else that was like, he had a Sammy Hagar, I Can't Drive 55 jersey, which was pretty cool, but I didn't go after that. And then, but he was a huge Lynch fan, and she said that she goes, he obviously knew him, which makes sense because George lived in Cave Creek, and that area isn't too far away from each other. So I think this chiropractor guy may have known George, because
Maybe it was his chiropractor.
it could have been, it could have been. But I mean, that picture, she came out with that, and I was like, oh my God, that's just huge. Like, who pays to get a picture that big? So I don't know. It just sits in the office. And
Would
it's
you have
funny
paid for
because-
that? I mean, they gave that to you for free. Would you have paid for that?
No, and then check out this. Check out this. This is hilarious. So I had it sitting in the office, and the grandkids come over to sleep in the office. One of them sleeps in the office, and I went in there one night and I go, "Why is George turned around?" Like, and my girlfriend was like, "I don't want her waking up and getting scared." And I go, "Why would she get scared? If anything, she'd get inspired." But yeah, I thought that was funny. So yeah, so that sits in the office, turned backwards to the wall. So,
Oh, geez.
it's pretty funny.
Well, that kind of turns into what I'm doing with the pre-Lynch model, using the 1983 JK 1000, or the JK. Actually, it's a LK Lynch Kramer. The LK ties into this. So what I'm doing, because I have the 85 48th Street Grail neck already that I drilled and put the R4 nut on the R5, and you guys have seen that already, so I don't feel a need to go get that, hopefully, which is going to go on this guitar. And I'd gotten this body a while ago. Now this is that JK1000 body that I'm going to make into the before Lynch guitar, which was kind of like what Kramer was messing around before they actually did that super late 85, really early 86 small run of the Lynch models. And I've got the face of it sanded out, and I've sanded this lower piece. Now y'all know what I think about this curve down here. And as you can see, I took a lot of that chubbiness out of here, and I've flattened it out. Now it still needs a little bit more up in here. It's still got a little bit right here. That's
A little
just
bit of chub.
a little bit of chub, yeah, that I'm gonna take out. And I'm squaring it off. You can see how it's a lot squarer here. Then when you get up to the horn, you see it's got more curve. And what I'm going to do is take this all out here, sand it out to make it more square, because his guitars were squared off. They weren't rounded. So that's what I did today, and I'm trying to get this sent to Marty Bell to paint before I can get him to paint Mike Olson's 5150.
What color are you doing?
This is going Alpine white, like the Grail.
That's cool.
And the headstock's going to be white too.
You should leave it that color.
No. I'm sure that Lynch played Charvels, but I'm talking about Adam Long here. But I'm talking about the guitars that were like specially made for him, because he played. Well, it's alder. It's not too bad. So I've got a lot of more shaping to do with this. As you can see, I have filled the barrel jack. I'm going to make the barrel jack the correct size, because this is originally a jack plate guitar, which I'm not going to have. And you can see, if you look at the side here, you can see how I flattened it out. I've taken approximately a 1/16 of an inch off the edge. And then when you get over here to where I haven't sanded it yet in this area, or you can still see some of the treatment before paint left on there, and you can see where I have to take a little bit more out, because I'm using the paint on the sides to gauge the thickness of it. Another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this horn, and the horn is close to the Pacer Special horn, but it's a little bit fat under here, and it's a little bit rounded up here. So I'm going to reshape this horn, kind of like I'm doing the bottom of this body. So it'll be it won't be as rounded off, and it'll be a little smaller. And we're going to see how it turns out, and then we'll see when I do Mike Olson's body, which I'm also going to dye it, if you will. Well, once I get that done, he'll take a look at that horn and see what he likes with it, because I'm going to try to get this to look more like the Pacer Special horn on the 5150. So that's what I was doing today, and it is going to get the neck pickup just like George liked it. It's going to get one neck pickup here. I've already got the 78 custom shop for it from Staggered Winding Marcelo Juarez. I filled this hole because it had some sort of stupid Gibson switch in here. So I filled that, and it's going to get one mini 3-way toggle like we use at the factory to go from one pickup, both pickups, or, one or the other or both. And that'll be the wiring on it.
What neck pickup are you going to use?
I'm going to get a Seymour Duncan, probably an Alnico 2 Seymour Duncan neck pickup, to go with the Alnico 2 9.1 custom shop 78 staggered winding from Marcelo Juarez. But I'm not putting the pickup into the wood here. I'm using the pickup ring. Of course, the neck pickup's going to go into the wood because that's how it was mounted. But they sit pretty high, and that's how I was going to do this one. And of course, that neck that I got was so lucky to find is going on this one. And this is probably the last guitar I'm going to build for my own. This is probably the last one I'm going to do.
You say that now.
Yeah.
I don't know why they use this different wood on the face here. I think it is wood. It's not plastic like the Ibanez. The Ibanez soak their whole bodies in like some sort of plastic coating.
You should scrape that and see if it's a veneer.
No, I don't want to mess with it. I don't want to know what it is. If it's level and it's good, if it's glued on and it's good, I'll leave it. I don't want to mess with it. It's got to be really good too. That's why I'm hand sanding all this out, because Mr. Bell is very particular. Everything's got to be, level and right. There can't be any low spots, or he will go like crazy trying to fix it. And I don't want him to do that. I just want to paint it, So that's what I did today.
So that's your final guitar, you're saying?
Yeah, it should be. Now, of course, I'm working on the one for Mike Olson. Because Mike Olson's a super guy, man. I'll tell you what.
You ever thought about building gongs?
No, not at all. I don't have the skill to do that any more than I do to make a Grail ESP reverse banana one piece, 48th Street custom shop neck. There's no way I will ever get anywhere near that. Absolutely no way. And there's no way that I would ever have the skill to be able to make a gong to make it sound like this. Would probably just sound like a Zildjian or something.
Oh.
If you've ever heard a Zildjian gong, you'd know what I meant.
I don't know.
It's kind of like a trash can. Kind of like this symbol I got over here, the dang China symbol. I don't even know who made that China symbol, but someday I'll get a good China symbol. I'd like to get a really big ride symbol too, but that's way down the road.
Mm-hmm.
Now, hey, Adam, people play a lot of guitars, man, and it's cool. Everyone can have their own opinion. All I know is what I saw when I saw him and the kind of stuff we were trying to do for him at the time, because I was there, which I hate to say. Now, in gong news, there is gong news, if that's a thing. There's been a paste 36-inch gong that comes with a stand and a mallet, although the stand is a low one. Like, it's not like the one I got here that holds the gong up. This is like it's called a C shape. It's made out of like bent box tube, and it goes really close to the ground.
What is it?
It's a C stand. Paste makes a C stand, but it's really low to the ground. And this is a 36-inch paste gong that this guy in California is selling. But it's brilliant. It doesn't have the burns on the sides like this one has. It looks more like my 36 that I had to take all the finish off of because it's so dang old, So it's all shiny. And it comes with a mallet and the stand, and I think he wanted $1,700 for it and like $250 shipping. So it's a great deal, especially for a 36. But I got my heart set on the 38. I want the big round stand.
So it looks like these. Looks like this.
Yeah, that's the C stand, and that sits close to the ground.
That's cool,
as you can say. And I'd like my gong stand higher, of course, but it comes with that stand, and it comes with the mallet, with the 36-inch brilliant gong, and it's probably around $2,000 out the door, which is a smoking deal for a 36. This guy also has another one. He has a 38 sound creation gong. The 38 sound creation gong is a $3,500 gong. Oh, nice kitty. And he's selling that one for I think it's $2,700, but it has $300 shipping. It does not come with a stand when it comes with a mallet. That is a really good deal too. That's a 38. But I've already got my gong ordered, and it's all I could do to try to get it. And it's been like a lifelong thing, to do for me. So that's gong news. There's also a 20-inch gong for sale for $300, but it's got a dent in it. If you can hammer it out, more power to you. Good question, Adam. Good question. Staggered windings is more winding on one bobbin than the other. This is something Edward did to make it sound out of phase amongst itself, to help with that sound that he had. It's not something that really works well with a manipulated sound, if you will. But coming out of an all-tube amp like a Marshall Plexi, it makes it sound really cool. And those are all the pickups I use, because the 78 Custom Shop from Seymour Duncan all have staggered windings. They're not staggered too much. As a matter of fact, they're probably about a 5. They're probably 5 more on one side than the other. Lindy Fralin almost wound me a custom one. I couldn't. He has bigger windings. He's got bigger bobbins, or they're thinner bobbins, so you can fit more wire, because it has to be 24 gauge wire. That's what they did for Ed in '78 when Seymour did those pickups for him, and you could put more windings on them. And I was going to go a little extreme. I was thinking, well, let's go 9.5 instead of 9.1, and let's stagger more on. Of course, I want it on the slug side because I want it to be warmer. If you stagger on the adjustment on the screw side, then you're going to get a more trebly tone, which is something I absolutely don't want, because I want the warmest I can get for the best kind of feedback that I use in my sound. So that's basically what Scatterwound is different, Jimmy. Scatterwound isn't staggered. Scatterwound is when you wind it, you wind up and down, more wildly. When they wind a pickup with the jig, it comes out very consistent where the wires are. If you use a scatter, they're winding the wires a little chaotically on it. Mm-hmm. But that's an interesting. That's interesting too. And hello, Jimmy. How's it going, man? And yeah, randomly. Yes, that's good. That's good. And that helps the sound become out of phase too. It's like if you got 2 pickups on your guitar, right? And you want them to not be out of phase so they sound like normal, then you put them in, how they're supposed to go in, with the, the pull pieces on the side that's consistent with most guitars. If you take that neck pickup and you flip it over and you put it in that neck, so the slugs and the screws are reversed, then you're going to get that. You're going to get that out of phase sound. If you're looking for it, it's cool as hell. If you're not, it isn't. But I've done that on guitars too, because I just really dig it myself. That's just my personal. Nice questions. Oh, and thank you for listening to Gong News here at Johnny Beane TV, home of Gong.
Yeah. But also, let me ask you this really quickly. Do you normally, would somebody normally keep a gong that close? Is that like a bed right there?
It could be. This guy that's selling these two, he's got them in a garage. He's got one hanging from chains from the rafters. He has the right gut. The string made a gut for it, but he doesn't really have a stand. That looks like that might be a little, that's probably about a 24. So it's not really that big, and it's new. It's got it's got your ring around it like that. That's not a bad little gong with a stand, but it's not very big either. You can see it's barely up to the shelf. I'd say that might be a 22 or 24.
Too small, huh?
What is to me? I mean, I have the 30. I've got the 32 that's almost 34. I'll have the
It's a
38.
baby.
Yeah,
So-
I'll have the 38, and then
So what's okay? So having bigger. Welcome to Gong Talk, you guys.
wah, it's a baby gong. Wah.
So baby gong. Baby gong. So what's the difference? Do you guys? We actually lost 10 people while you were talking, Robbie. So I don't know if I want to keep talking about
You
this.
always say that.
No, it's true. I was watching the numbers, and plus Ron fell asleep.
Well, be nice, Johnny. Come on.
That's true. Okay. No, okay. With the different sizes of gongs, like the bigger, is it just the deeper the sound and they're louder? That's what I'm
Yes.
assuming.
Yes, that's true.
And when you hit a gong, is there like a tone? Like is like in tune? Like it like how you know, a lot of people don't know this
Absolutely.
unless you play drums. You actually have to tune the drum heads.
Oh, of course.
You know, that's why you hit one, it's like, brrr. You actually have to tune that stuff. With cymbals, with gongs, you'd get the different sizes for different tones or tunings.
Yes, exactly, and
Right.
they're very precisely hammered
And hello,
at
octopus
the
ears.
factory. That it's a very major skill to do that. That to be able to hammer them, because if they hit one little hammer off, the guitar, the whole gong's out of tune, and all they can do is melt it down. So yeah, So that's what I was saying about he's selling that 38 sound creation gong. Now the sound creation gong, this is a symphonic, so it is very versatile. You can get a number of tones out of it by depending where you hit it.
Tones.
And a lot of different sounds. The sound creation gong has super awesome overtones, and it really has a great sound, but it's kind of a one-trick pony. It's like you could get great overtones out of it, and there are methods to it, but you can't. It's not a standalone gong. Like if I had a Sound Creation 38, it really wouldn't be any good without a corresponding 38 symphonic, if you will. So if like next year, if I can ever afford to get a Sound Creation gong, because they do sound awesome, they're more of an accent to the actual gonging going on. And I probably would be satisfied with the 32 size, which would only cost about $1,800, So, that would be next year if I don't have to have my hip replaced. But I know that scares the shit out of me.
I'd rather
Hey,
replace
I think you've
my
always
hip.
been hip.
Well, see, now there's a whole new thing. The Octopus is talking about Oriental cymbals and gongs, and a lot of those are made out of brass. Some are warmer, some aren't.
Is that the right term?
Oriental cymbal?
I don't know.
Sounds racist.
Well, yeah.
I know. I don't think you should be saying that.
Now there are China cymbals that have different tones and stuff. I don't have a page.
Laz, help us out here.
I have a Wuhan China cymbal, which is decent. I've got this thing.
Oh my gosh.
Easy, Ron.
No.
I got this thing over here,
Oh.
which isn't all that great. But, that's why I go for the paste gongs. They're very high quality, and they're the best tone.
Peisty.
And they have paste, and they're usually more expensive because there's a lot more onto them. There's a lot of companies that make gongs out there, and you hit them, they sound like a trash can or something. So, for me, I need the symphonic. I need that. The bloom out of the sound. I need all the different sounds you can get out of it. All right, Laz, pasty to you, fine. You don't have any paste cymbals, so come on.
Yeah, Laz.
You know, Mike Olson just said that he learns a lot from the show. That's pretty cool, man, because I mean, like, that's why I watch YouTube. You know, it's cool to watch these guitar shows and pick something up. I mean, you'll pick something up from regardless of, you know, whatever.
He's talking about
whatever
the
you
Gong
watch,
Show.
So. That's
Chuck
cool
Berry.
that somebody's getting something out of it. That's cool. Whether it's gong or guitar or whatever. You know, it's cool.
Gong tar.
Yeah.
Gatong. I said gatong.
Well, obviously, it means a lot to me, and it always has my entire life. I mean, you know, I got the 30-inch gong when I was, you know, in 1978. So, you know, I've had that all my life.
You were born in 78?
No, I was born in 1962.
I knew that was coming.
Wow.
But I've always played Zeppelin, you know, and if you play John Bonham, you basically have to have a gong, or you're. You know. Alex used a 50-inch paste gong, Adam. A 50-inch paste gong symphonic, like this one, but a buttload bigger, and it costs $10,000. So it's expensive gong.
What's the biggest gong there is?
Well, Paste makes a 80-inch gong, and that cost, I believe, $28,000.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of gong. My house isn't big enough for that.
Thank you, Peggy.
Wow, Jimmy Ray, you were born in '69. Wow, I didn't know I was older than you are.
The world's biggest gong.
Well, they have bigger gongs made by different companies.
You ever seen this? No, there is the world's biggest gong ever. It's measures 5.15 miles? Millimeter?
I don't know.
It's 16.8 feet.
16 feet. How many inches is that?
Well, count 16 feet side by side.
So that's 12 times 16. I've got a calculator here.
Does anybody know math? Meters?
There we go.
I have a photo of it right here, but it's not next to anything where we can tell how big it actually is.
Good day, eh?
That, according to this, that's 192 inches. So that's really, really big. Yes.
Would you like to have that going? Oh my gosh!
No, actually, I wouldn't, because I really like paste gongs.
Look at this, Robbie. I just found your dream gong, and I said gong. Okay, look. Look at this. I didn't realize how big this was until I saw the cars underneath it.
Wow.
Look at that.
Wow, man, that's huge, huh?
That's what she said. Yeah. Imagine that thing.
Oh my.
I think Robbie's gong goals just got a lot larger.
That'd be a good cool photo opportunity.
I'm doing all I can to try to get this one, and I hopefully will get next month. We are down to 25 days now. 25 days.
Look at that.
Yeah, that's...
Look, there's cars under there.
Those are Matchbox.
Yeah, Lewis wants to know what the mallet looks like. I don't even want to know.
I didn't see the guy that plays that. That probably is for waking up the town. All right, everybody, you're awake. Oh, my gosh.
Leave it to Johnny to find that thing.
We have to actually find the sound of that thing, I think. Oh, my. Is that iced tea?
That's iced tea. I got it today.
Just this, Johnny.
Now, you know I'm an alcoholic, so take it easy. I haven't had a drink in 37 years.
I'm still laughing at that first thing. Okay. Oh my gosh, these gongs. Dude. Biggest gong in the world. Where is that?
Yeah, well, just keep going with it, man. I can.
The world's largest. Oh. Oh my gosh. Can we hear this? We got to hear this thing, man. Get ready, Robbie. Oh, wait. Huh? You just sent me that?
Oh, I sent you the sound creation, and I'll send you the brilliant too.
I got to hear this. Do they play this or they just show it?
I don't know.
Oh, I don't think this gong is actually played.
Really? Well, what the hell? I mean, I see these gong videos where people are like on there and they never ring it out. It's like
It's too big. Oh yeah, this gong isn't actually played.
Somebody play the damn gong.
See, that's
It's
how they
not
make them,
actually-
though.
it's not actually played.
That's how they make the gongs. I mean, they pound them and stuff.
Oh, you got that video. That's the paste one? The factory one? That's nice.
No, that's not a guy at Paste making that. Look at he's not wearing shoes.
Oh, it's just some guy.
That's China.
They're actually like making.
For
got
God's
you,
sake,
though. I
he's
got
not
you.
even wearing shoes.
He's not even wearing shoes. Although you worked in a factory, Robbie, I don't know. Maybe that's how it is.
I worked at several factories.
Yeah, no, these guys, they're actually.
I always
making
wear
that.
shoes.
Yeah.
But I do have a video from the paste factory. It's not very long either.
Were you there?
No, I wasn't there, but it's fascinating. It's only a few minutes long.
Hello, Laz.
Laz, what time is it? Oh, we're after 2 hours. You guys, we're doing a giveaway. Peggy. Okay. How are you guys feeling? Are you all right?
Yeah.
You're okay?
My
You want-
voice is a little rough.
Okay. All right. Should we yeah, because normally we do like 2 hours.
3 hours.
3? Are we doing 3?
Whatever you want to do. I'm good.
I mean, I start to feel bad the later it gets.
How many people
for-
are in the chat?
For me, it's only like 10. Yeah, there's like 3 people here. No, it says about 60.
Wow.
Yeah, we got about 60 people here. It keeps going between 61 and 62. Okay. Yeah. You guys want to win? We'll give this away in let's say in like 20 minutes. 30 minutes. Okay. 30 minutes. We'll give this away. Okay. So you guys press a number in the chat. Say something in the chat. How many let's see, how many entries do we got? We have 51 entries. So if you'd like to win this, say something. Huh? All right. All right, so we'll keep going for a little bit. Yeah, that
What
gong,
guitar are you playing tomorrow night for the ASMR show?
Probably this one.
Yeah.
That one right there, the Kramer Beretta. I got the Kramer Beretta special right there.
With
the
the Vega-Trem.
Vega-Trem.
Echo.
Echo.
One second. Hang on, I just took a swig of my Waterloo. I'm trying to burp.
No, you just get choked up when you talk about Vega-Trem.
Oh, yeah. I love Vega-Trem so much.
I got
Hey,
you,
Alice.
Johnny. I just sent you the paste gong fabrication video
Thank you.
on WhatsApp. I finally got it.
I know. I just saw it.
Cool.
Right
Thank
on.
you. Thank you so
Hey,
much.
that's the
That's
gong
a gong
sounding
sound.
gong.
All right, so I'm probably playing this guitar tomorrow. Well, I got several guitars to play. But we got this one here, guitar ASMR. And then what was going on? There's something going on tomorrow. Oh, the Sonic Cake pedals. I was gonna feature Sonic Cake pedals, like the Levitate, the Tone Group, and the Warp Dimension. So tune in tomorrow night, 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific. The link is actually already there. The video. So you can actually already go to my channel, which I guess you're already here right now. Right? Is everybody awake? Here, let's wait, is it there? Yeah, there it is. Okay, get shareable link. Here we go. Okay, you guys, I'm going to give you the link. I want everybody to smash the thumbs up on tomorrow night's video. That'd be cool.
Hello, Alice.
Hello, Alice. Okay, we got 2 thumbs ups on tomorrow night's video. Smash the thumbs up on tomorrow night's video. There's the link right there. Open up another browser. Smash that thumbs up. Tune in tomorrow night. I'll be featuring the Sonic Cake pedals, the Levitate, the Tone Group, and the Warp Dimension. Their awesomeness. Mike Olson says smashed. I see you in the chat for tomorrow night. That's awesome. Thank you so much. So, yeah, I'll be featuring those pedals tomorrow night on Guitar ASMR. Maybe I'll be playing a couple different guitars. I think so. It'll be cool. And don't forget, Tuesday, exclusively Van Halen. OU81 Tuesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific. We'll be doing a giveaway. We'll be giving away the Life magazine, the Van Halen issue. It was recently reissued. I picked a few of them up. So we'll be giving one of those away this Tuesday. And then don't forget, tonight we're giving away a wireless speaker. So everybody wake up and participate in the chat. I know, after we talked about gongs for like an hour. Bam. Everybody wake up.
Yeah,
All
Carl
right.
Palmer had a big gong too, Raymond. It's probably a 36. That's what Pink Floyd used. Pink Floyd
Used gongs? I thought they used what's that pedal called? Albatrosses. There we go. Left. There, I'll take him out before he comes back in. There we go. Thank you guys. Smash that thumbs up on tomorrow night's video too. Please, please, please. Smash those thumbs ups. Please. Oh, you're back. Okay.
I went to go put that picture back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was. Ah, dude.
Yeah, it's cool. Hey, do you guys something cool to talk about is young guitar. You guys ever get these?
When I was younger.
I've had a couple of them, the ones with the Van Halen on the cover. Yeah.
I'll tell you, man. I mean, the ones with the Van Halen on the cover.
You have them? Oh my gosh.
Well, there's a couple. This is the one you're talking about. Guitar Man?
No, I've never owned that. I know all about it, though.
So, and then
It's
there's
on page
this
7.
one, the tribute that came out. Look how thick that is.
Oh, wow.
And I think this is all of the young guitar Van Halen stuff. But I was going to tell you that this one I just got is pretty cool. I was watching another podcast and the guy was talking about it, and it's cool because it's got Eddie's it's got a whole bunch of artists in it. I wish I could read Japanese. It'd make it a little bit cooler, but it's cool because it goes into Edward. It's the Balance Tour. So it goes over all of his amps
Oh, wow.
and shows his setup. And it's just cool, man. I mean, but it's got a ton of artists in it. But the coolest young guitar I've gotten as of late was this, because you don't see these guys together. And I saw this, and it was breathtaking for me. But this was a cool young guitar.
There you go.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, that album covers well over 1,000 words for me. They're all standing there with their signature guitars. I mean,
That's your favorite. Isn't that your top 3? Didn't you just say that earlier?
well, I mean, now that Ed's gone,
You
I
didn't
mean,
say
those are 2 of my top 3. I mean, Jake's up there. I mean, everybody liked Jakey Lee, right? What's there not to like about Jakey Lee? The guy was super cool and super humble and super nice and just a beast on a guitar, you know. So,
We were at a NAMM show. Actually, there's a video. There should be a video on this channel actually from a NAMM show 4 years ago, maybe. Jakey Lee and George Lynch. Was it them? No, it was Jake and DeMartini.
mm-hmm.
They were signing together.
Yeah. Well, they were. You know that Jake was in rap before DeMartini was, because
No.
Jake got the job to go in. Jake got a job to go in another. I'm going to remember the band name here in a second, but he was in Rat. He was in Mickey Rat, and then Disney sued him because they couldn't use the name Mickey Rat, and so Jake had left. Jake was leaving, and DeMartini and him were roommates. And he said, "Well, do you want the Rat gig?" And DeMartini said, "I'll take the Rat gig." So he went on to. Man, I forgot which band he went to, but and then after that, he wasn't in the band for very long. I think they did one album, and then Ozzy picked him up, and he went to go play with Ozzy. But I mean, those guys know each other. All those guys knew each other, you know. So.
Did you know that George Lynch was actually hired for Ozzy but never played a show?
Yeah.
And then he fired George in front
of Jake.
Yeah.
Yep. Because of his hair. They said that Jake had better hair. They hadn't even heard Jake play yet. Supposedly when Ozzy made the decision to not hire Lynch, because Lynch, there's interviews with Lynch saying that he was on the road with Ozzy, and
he
they
did
were
he did the sound checks and stuff.
Yeah, he was doing sound checks. Yeah, and like warming up and like, you know, getting the groove of the tour and everything. And then Jakey Lee came in. They brought Jakey Lee, and I guess Sharon and George didn't gel too well, from what I.
Yeah, it was Sharon. Sharon didn't want him because of his shorter hair. He had short hair because he was flipping freaking burgers. He couldn't have long hair. Food industry he was working at the time.
Yeah. Yeah, Louis Villarreal said Badlands. I mean, you talk about a band. Oh my God. You know, I mean, like all that Badlands stuff was super good. Yeah, I forgot, man. I'm totally drawing a blank, but it was like I forgot what band he was going that Jake went to, and then it didn't last very long. He went to Ozzy.
Somebody in the chat knows.
The best story, I went to a really good story. I was at San Diego Guitar Trader. There's a place in San Diego called Guitar Trader, and I don't even know if it's still open. It probably isn't. But George Lynch came in, and he did a signing and got up on stage and played. And they go, "Does anybody have any questions?" And I said, "Yeah, George, is it true that you went to Warren DeMartini's daughter's birthday party and took DeMartini's amp home, walked out with it?" And he said, "How do you know about that?" And I go, "I just heard about it." And he goes, "Yeah, that's a true story." He said that he was leaving, that Rat had just come off tour, and his heads were by the front door, and Lynch took it. He took his head, and Warren was looking for his head, and Lynch had it the whole time.
He was hiding it?
No, he took it, and it was like using it.
Oh, man.
So, yeah, it's pretty funny. And then I talked to Lynch's guitar tech when they were out here, and he goes, "Man, George has so much gear, and he's loaned so much stuff out throughout the years. He doesn't even know what he had, you know." Oh, look at that! G. Bushnell said the Guitar Trader's been closed for quite a few years. Yeah,
Hey, Dave.
yeah,
Oh.
that's too bad. That place was cool.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a guy named Lauren there that I used to always deal with. Lauren was in a AC/DC tribute band, and the owner looked like Tony Iommi, identical. Like every time I went in there, I was like, "Man, it's Tony Iommi." Oh no, wait a minute, that's the owner of Guitar Trader. Just like him.
Maybe it was
Iron Man.
I own Guitar Trader.
Thank you for the shout outs, Patty.
Thank you, Patty.
Atomic Punk just got here. Maybe we'll get some pictures tonight of the Wizard of Oz or something.
Atomic Punk, here you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Have fun. He put his face on a dog last night. It was
I
kinda
saw
weird.
that.
Yes,
That
he
was
did.
pretty funny. Yeah, that's pretty funny. I saw that. That's funny. He said, "I'm on it." I'm on it. That's hilarious.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
Yeah, so
Man.
if you guys get a chance, check out those young guitars. You'll find them on eBay. I get them off eBay. I mean, they're like $25 shipped from Japan, but they got some cool pictures in them. I mean, like it seems like the Japanese market always gets something a little better than what we get over here. They get some better stuff sometimes.
Oh yeah, those things they were always just packed with just awesomeness.
Yeah.
I mean, I had, like I said, I had some of the Van Halen ones years ago, and I mean, yeah, it was too bad that we couldn't actually read a lot of that stuff. But from the photos, I mean, you could kind of tell what they were saying, kind of, and every once in a while, there'd be a word in English,
Yeah.
and so you could kind of tell what's going on. But
The cool one was the one that had a picture of all of Ed's guitars, and it's Guitar Man, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I mean, look at this.
yeah,
It's got like all of his guitars in it,
the
like all lined
PVs.
up, and
That's
yeah.
like the '98 tour or something, right?
And then it's got the Ernie Balls, the Kramers.
Yeah.
It's got all of them.
Yeah, somebody had PDF'd that whole thing at one point, and so I have a PDF version of it, but I've never had the actual. But it's a book, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of a magazine, but it's really a book.
Yeah, a book. Yeah, I would agree.
It's a book.
It's high quality.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at this in a while. Maybe I'll keep this out and look at it. It's cool to look at.
Oh man.
Johnny, who had all those guitars I sent you pictures of the other day? You said they were Rob's or somebody. Who? All those ones.
Oh
Eddie's
yeah,
guitar?
Rob Johnson. Yeah, he's he used to be on this show all the time years ago. I've known him since 1999, however long. ago that is.
24.
But yeah, those are all replicas that he built, himself. And anytime we would find like a new photo of a guitar of Eddie playing like something we'd never seen, he's one of the first people right on it to build a replica of that.
Who's that guy that Robbie? I'm sure Robbie knows who he is. Who's the guy that's got all the Van Halen guitars? What's that guy's name? Robbie? No, he's got every guitar. Like he's got the double necks.
I don't know. It sounds like you're talking about Rob Johnson to me, man.
Yeah, I think that's him.
There's one of two people.
Crazy stuff, yeah.
You're talking
That's
about.
crazy.
You're
Scott
talking
Smith
about.
is one of them,
Scott
right?
Smith. Scott Smith. Yeah.
Yeah.
Scott Smith was one of the first guys to be building all those replicas, and a photo would be posted on the internet of like his collection. And years ago, people thought that was Eddie's collection.
Yeah.
They actually thought those were Eddie's guitars, and it's like,
Yep.
no, it's not. But then after Scott Smith, Rob Johnson was one of the first people really on the internet. And then I brought him aboard these shows back 7 years ago. I mean, go back on this channel, you'll find all that stuff. Of guys that made replicas of all that stuff. So
Yeah, but I don't think he does his stuff, does he, Rob Johnson? I think somebody does it for him, right?
He does.
Scott Smith
some
did
of
his
it.
own stuff.
He does some of it. I know he sends
Does it?
out. I think he does. He does his own relicking on some of them. I think he works on some necks. He's got some really rare necks and stuff.
Yeah, those guys got some cool
He's
stuff.
been doing it a long time. I mean, he's done quite a bit. So.
That guy's basement, or the guy's setup is ridiculous. I'm like, oh my God, that guy's got everything.
yeah, it's a basement.
Yeah. It's crazy.
We don't have basements out here.
No, we don't either. Yeah. We did back in Detroit. If I still live in Detroit, I would have a basement. That's where Leica's at, Jerry Leica. I think Jerry Leica's still in Detroit, right, Robbie?
Huh?
Jerry Leica?
He doesn't know who he is. I don't know him either because he'd always unfriend me all the time.
Oh, really?
Every time he would send me a friend request, I'd accept him, and then like a month later, he'd unfriend me like all the time, and I'm like, "What's up with that?" And it's just, so I don't even know the guy. Yeah,
My buddy was really good friends with him, like really good friends to the point to where, I guess Jerry Leica had a contact with Scotty Ross, and Scotty Ross got my buddy backstage for the '95 for the Balance Tour, and he got pictures with Ed, and they went and had lunch. Alex Van Halen, Scotty Ross, and Jerry Leica. I guess the story went, I don't know how this goes, but I guess the story went that Scotty Ross and Alex Van Halen came out and said, "Where's a place to get pizza around here in Detroit?" And Jerry said, "Hey, I know of a good place," and that was it. Scotty Ross gave him his phone number and said, "Hey, man, I got your back." And every time they came to town, he had backstage, and he took my buddy with him, and so he got to go
Wow.
backstage and everything.
in '95.
Yeah, that was Balance. So yeah, the picture is from the Balance Tour.
Wow,
Yep.
that's cool.
But that guy did really good relics too. I went over to his apartment one day with my buddy, and I played him, and I was just overwhelmed because that was the time when there was no internet, and the only thing you saw was like pictures of stuff, and this guy was like, yeah, this guy builds like awesome Eddie Van Halen guitars, and I was like, oh my God, I've never seen one of these in real life. It's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's funny too because we get numb to it. I mean, like the first time you see one of those, like the first time you saw Ernie Ball Music Man, it was like magical. Now you pick one up and you're like, yeah, it's cool.
I don't know. Most
great.
people don't see them now.
Man, I went out to L.A. It's funny you say that because I went out to L.A. not too long ago, and this guy said he had one, and I said, okay, I'm gonna come get it. I go, how much you want for it? He goes, $7,000, and I said, okay. It was some music store in it was right outside of it was in Santa Monica, I think, and I some guitar store, and I went down there. I walked in, and it was hammered. The guy goes, "Oh yeah, I'll be right back, man." He brings it out like it's some kind of gift, and I was like, I go, "Yeah, it looks great, man." And he goes, "Yeah, $7,000. I'm firm on it." I go, "Okay, well, I don't carry around that kind of money, so let me go run over to the bank." And I ran to my truck and never went back. Yeah.
$7,000, and it was like the guitar was totally trashed.
It was. I mean, my big thing for guitars is, because I know that was John's big thing, is string alignment. The low E was hanging out the side of the neck. You know, that basswood over years of being worked. You know, that's a soft wood. You know, and
which
you
E?
can tell that the low E
low
was
E?
hanging out the side of the fretboard.
Oh, because on mine the high E hangs off the side of the neck.
Yeah, I mean, you can fix that. You know, actually, I'd rather have the high E hanging off than the low E, because if it's the low E hanging off, you've got to fill that side of the neck pocket to get it to line up. If it's the high E, you can just sand the inside of the neck pocket, and you can line that up better. But yeah, string alignment's a no bueno for me. I walked in there, I looked at it, and I was like, He goes, "Yeah, $7,000 firm," and I was like, "Okay, man, well, I don't carry that kind of money around, so let me run over to the bank." He goes, "Okay," and I went, got my truck, and I called my girlfriend immediately, and I was like, "That thing's a piece of crap. I'm not doing it."
Yeah.
You're like, lock the doors.
Yeah.
What color was it?
Amber. I think it's still on Reverb.
Really?
I saw it on Reverb originally.
Oh, Reverb. How do you spell it? Reverb. I'm gonna see if I can find. I want to see what this looks like. $7,000.
Yeah, he wanted $7,000 for it.
Uh,
I'll tell you which one it is. It's in Santa Monica.
Carnival Music Man. Do you remember what year it was? The guitar?
I don't know. It's let me see.
I was just down near Santa Monica. I could have gone down.
It was a really cool mom and pop shop. I mean, like it's the kind of mom and pop shop you walk in and you find something cool. Yeah, that's it right there. I'm pretty sure.
You see it? What? How'd you find that?
Yeah, this is it right here.
What's a key word that I can look up?
It's under Alex's Gear Emporium. He wanted $79.99 for it at the time. He's come down to $64.99 now. But just type in Ernie Ball Van Halen. It's a 1992 gold translucent.
Oh, my spelling's horrible.
The back of the neck had a really good figure, and I go, it doesn't look that bad, and so yeah. But when I got there, the low E was like hanging off the side of the. I go, I'm not doing that.
Is this it? 6499?
Yeah, $64.99 is the cost of it now, with $150 shipping.
Wait a minute. Let's look at this, because from a distance, it looks really nice.
I know it does. That's why I spent the time to sit in that Hollywood traffic on the 405, and I was like,
just
oh my
ride
God,
a bird scooter. You'll be there in a second.
I'm going to do it. And I got there, and it was just hammered. And I was like, wow, that was really disappointing. But
look at this. Okay.
Don't buy that guitar. The string alignment's off. It was hammered on the back. And it looks really good. It looked really good.
I mean, from here, I mean, it looks good. I mean, there's something going on here, unless that's fuzz from the case.
Yeah, it's hammered.
It's hammered. Let's see.
I wouldn't buy it.
Hammer time.
But in all fairness, it is a 1992. It's an old guitar, so really, it's kind of ridiculous for me to say.
That's my guitar. My guitar is a 92.
Yeah.
This looks brand new. Wait a minute.
Yeah. I mean, look at the figure on the back of that. It looks really...
Yeah, it looks like mine.
Yep.
When's the last time you've seen yours, Johnny? That might be it.
I know. That might be my guitar. There was a guy in here. No, that top is not mine. that top is more.
It's quilted,
kind of-
but it's not that good of a top.
It's kind of a weird. Yeah, it's kind of a.
I mean, how many days has that been on for? You could look on there. It'll tell you how many days it's been on for.
It's been a year.
Listed. Yeah, it's been on there for a year. So I think it looks really good until you get there and you're like, yeah. No.
Wah wah.
I think I bought
Oh, wait.
something else that trip, though. I think I came home with something, or maybe that's a trip I didn't come home. Every time I go out to see my son lives in Simi Valley, so I go out and go guitar shopping, and I usually come home with something. But I think this is the time I came home with nothing.
Let's look at that string alignment. I mean, up
It'll
there
be
it
towards the.
doesn't
Yeah.
look bad up there, but
But see, there's no straight-on shots, and that's where you see it. And that's where I got, because trust me, I'm super picky when it comes to
look
looking at that stuff.
look at all the bird's eye in the headstock.
Yeah. I went to go buy that guitar, and I was like, meh. You wanted $7,000.
That
And
looks.
then I was like, well, I got to pay sales tax on top of that, too. And I was like, nah, doing that. It does look nice, though, right? Looks like a nice guitar.
Yeah, I mean, from this, I mean, it looks pretty nice. But
He
we
told me that
can't
he didn't
see-
think the case was original. I said the case is definitely original. That's
It
an
is?
original case. That's a definitely original case, for sure.
Mine came with a gig bag, so I
Yeah,
never
some-
had
some
a
of 'em
hard
did.
case.
Yeah, some of them did come with gig bags.
And look, there's other stuff back there. Look at that. That's the guy's register back there.
Yeah, that's where he cashes out at. He didn't cash me out though.
That's where the $7,000 goes, right in there.
Yeah, yeah.
That looks pretty. You're thinking about it now again, huh?
No,
But see, you can
I'm reading-
fix it.
I'm reading. Well, here's the thing. First of all, it's too much money. That's my opinion. G. Bushnoff said that it's an easy fix. It is an easy fix. I mean, you pull the neck off. You, I mean, like,
Look,
if you know how to do that repair.
There's a guy back there. Is that him?
I think that's him.
Do you remember?
No, it was an old guy. He couldn't really walk. But I still wouldn't spend that much on that. And I think that's where him and I are on the same sheet of paper. I looked at it and I kind of talked myself out of it by finding all the imperfections. I was like, $7,000, man. Because you'll never get more. I don't think you'll get more for that guitar than $7,000. I think that's all the money plus some for that guitar. That's my opinion.
Now, having that extra screw in there, because it has 5 screws in the neck heel, does that make it harder for you to tweak that neck to try to align it better?
No, all you're going to do is, the way that I would, the way that I would fix that is on the bass side. I would pull the neck, and then I would just super glue build up on the edge, and then sand that out, and then just keep putting the neck back in until you would build up that side of the bass side of the neck pocket, and push the neck to where it's going to push the neck in to where you'll give yourself some more room there.
Epoxy?
No, I would use super glue, a thick super glue.
I wasn't alone on that one.
Yeah.
I
See,
wouldn't
with me, I
put
always
epoxy anywhere near that guitar.
I use pieces of wood and type on to them in there before I sand it out.
Yeah, you can do that, but super glue will be super glue will suffice, and plus it'll be easier to touch that up with paint. And then you're gonna have to, that's why I always like doing black guitars, because once you do if your alignment's off, you just take a Sharpie pen and hit it, and you'll never see it. On that guitar, you're gonna see a buildup, whether it's a wood shim or whether it's super glue. You're gonna see a buildup on that. So
Well, not all guitars the neck shift. The ones I've built, the necks are so tight in there they don't move at all. It
well,
depends how you
usually
build
what
the
that
guitar.
comes from is oversanding of the neck pocket when they build. That's usually where that comes from. It comes from them oversanding And that's why when you go to sand a neck after it comes out of paint, you don't keep hogging on it until you go past the paint, because everything should be pre-fit prior to going to the booth. So you should be able to know how everything's fit, and then once it comes out of the booth, you don't hog on the neck pocket, because that's where your neck alignment will be messed up at. So.
But it all goes down to basics. I mean, if you are bolting your neck into your body first and then aligning where you are going to router your Floyd, then it can be super tight. You don't need that adjustment. You know, that the thing is, it's not cost effective, because they want to stamp it off a template and then put them together like, you know, mass production. And the way I do it, I don't do it that way. I make sure it's super tight in there. Uh-oh, here we go. Of course I'm Cartman, right?
You're Kenny.
Oh, I'm Kenny. Oh, well, that's nice. At least I'm not Cartman.
No, but you're the guy that dies all the time.
That's okay.
I don't know who I am.
Kenny.
Thanks, G. I mean, yeah, most guitars are made like that, though. I mean, when you're talking, you know, so you're making your own guitar, you can do stuff like that. But you know, you can't like go buy one and it's going to have a tight, you know, neck into the pocket and whatnot.
Well, the important thing is knowing how to fix it. The important thing is, you know, whether somebody did it right or did it wrong at the beginning. If you pick up a guitar and you know how to fix it, then you win. You know, I mean, that's where the majority of my guitars have come from. Some of them have been kind of messed up, and the person selling it thought that they were like, well, you know, I don't like it or whatever. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, that kind of sucks. And I bring it home and I fix it. And then, you know.
Yeah, you can fix your own guitars. So you're saying $7,000 was too much for that?
I think $7,000's excessive on that guitar. You can ask the chat.
For
But,
like any of them? Because I'm seeing a lot of these. They're all going for 6, 7.
Well, you're seeing them, but they're not selling. Look how long
Right.
they've been listed for. I mean, the pink
Did you
ones,
see this
the
one?
green ones, the pink ones, the green ones. Yeah, that's natural, right?
Look at that. It says
Yeah, I probably
natural
wouldn't do natural.
translucent.
Yeah, yeah. The only time I saw Ed with a natural one was on the Jon Stewart show.
Right, because they were doing Can't Stop Loving You, and that one
Yeah.
had the piezo pickup in it. Look, it's in that book, that Guitar Man. It's in that book.
Yeah. That's the only time I saw Ed. I had a black one, and I never saw Ed with a black one. Very few times you see Ed with a black one, and then I saw him on that Entertainment Tonight. And when Ernie Ball's son had to give his kidney transplant or whatever. And
where he's wearing the visor, and he's playing at
Yep.
the beginning. Yep.
yeah, he's playing a black one, and I was like, oh, finally I saw him with a black one. I feel so much better, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I ended up selling it. I think I traded that black one for an amber, and I had a purple one, and I had amber at one time, purple and red, and then I got rid of all of them, which I kind of regret. But I won't buy another one because that's just ridiculous money now. I'm not doing that.
This guy's saying,
Mhm.
look at the string alignment on that one.
Yeah, how is it? See, it's heavy on the bass side.
That's how mine is.
Yeah. Well, that's easier to fix than heavy on the bass side, or heavy on the treble
tilt?
side. Yeah.
It's better to tilt.
I mean, with that, all you gotta do is just pull the. Well, I mean, I wouldn't recommend this, but sometimes you can just pull those, and they'll pop in. I wouldn't do it on that because you're gonna crack the paint on the basswood, so I wouldn't do that. Unloosen it and move it over a little bit, and then try it again. You know.
Mm-hmm. So you're saying you wouldn't get these guitars anymore, but you have one back there, or is that an Axis?
That's an Axis. I got that Axis. I got that Axis for $1,100 on the Craigslist in San Diego. I couldn't believe it. I was like, it popped on, and I was like, $1,100 for that guitar, and I went.
Can you explain to the chat the differences? Because I've done this for years. Can you explain to them the differences between the Axis and the EVH?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, when they get the Axis, they think, now I have the guitar. They're not the same. They're not exactly the same.
This one actually has got a good top, in my opinion.
That looks nice.
That's a good top. The string alignment, as you can see, is perfect because I fixed it.
Yeah.
The action on it is perfect because I fixed it. It was super high when I got it, and then I tweaked all that. The number one thing that they changed from the Ernie Ball Van Halen is the toggle switch. The toggle switch is up here on the Van Halen. They moved it down here. That's number one. Number two is the belly cut. They put a belly cut on it, which you can see there.
Mm-hmm.
On the Van Halen, it doesn't have on the EVH, it doesn't have a belly cut. And supposedly, the only other thing is there was supposedly a wear in the neck that they stopped doing, but I was told that was nonsense. They were still cutting the same because this is a asymmetrical neck, so it's heavier on the bass side and thinner on the treble side. So it's an asymmetrical neck. This feels identical to my Eddie Van Halen Music Man's. So everything is the same other than the belly cut and the throw switch next to the volume knob. Other than that, it's the same guitar. And I don't see spending $7,000 just to have something with a toggle switch in an awkward area. You know, it worked for Ed, but
You thought it was weird on the horn?
Well, I mean, he did too because he put it on the other side on the Wolfgang. If he liked it there, he would put it in the same place.
Mm-hmm.
You got to remember about this Axis. This guitar was built already, and that's something else that people don't know. Ernie Ball had this guitar already. Eddie didn't design this guitar. The Axis was already built. Eddie went to the factory, and they said, "Hey, we got this guitar," and he goes, "Oh, that's pretty cool. I'll put my name on it." This guitar was already done. What made the PV Wolfgang unique is Eddie sat down with Hartley Peavey and they designed that body. They did everything what Ed wanted. On the Axis, this guitar was already built, and that made it easy for Ernie Ball when they went back. When Eddie left, because they just they went back to the original name. This was called the Axis in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Ed didn't really design this guitar. It was already Ernie Ball's guitar. They were already doing it. So if you don't know that, you know, you do now. But that's why they called it the Axis when it came back out again, because that was the original name for it before they called it the Eddie Van Halen Music Man. So.
Right. Yeah, because there are photos of Edward with like the prototypes or whatever, and you look at the headstock and it says Axis on it. Mm-hmm. You know.
So they were this guitar was already going. Prior to Ed's seal of approval. But what made the PV Wolfgangs unique is Ed did that design with Hartley Peavey. Ed did everything with that, and that was Ed's guitar. So, which is still the same body style from the Peavey. It's still the same. So,
Got to give away the speaker.
everybody's punching in.
Huh?
They want to get.
I just heard a voice. Oh, we have to do a giveaway. All right, is everybody ready? In the chat. Everybody press number 1 in the chat right now. Everybody. If you can hear me, press number 1.
Press number 1.
I'll even do it to see if I can win the thing back. There we go. Everybody press number 1 right now. Oh my gosh. Everybody press number 1. Hey Laz. Everybody press
ship
number
it
1.
to yourself. Don't forget the house address.
1, 2, 3. All right, we're giving this away. Bluetooth speaker. You guys. And if you want to hear more about the Ernie Ball Music Man guitars, we'll talk more about those another time. I have one I can show you guys. We can do that maybe next.
Look at it.
Maybe next week we can do that. You've got the Access there. I've got the 92. You know.
You know what would be really cool is if you're in LA sometime, we could do it live.
I was just there.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Oh, dude. I was just in LA. Some guy I ran into at Guitar Center, wanted to go with me down there, but then I never heard from him again. You guys, we're giving away this right now. So everybody, press number 1. Okay, here, let's stop sharing that. Okay, we got 63 entries. Let's present, share screen. StreamYard giveaway tool. Here it is. Oh!
Hello, Holly.
All right, copy that one.
All right, copy that one.
How about this?
How about this?
This button. This button. Johnny Beane.
Copy this right now. Oh, what was it? Be nice?
Yeah.
I be nice?
Yeah. Johnny Beane. Now you say I'm. Yes. Maybe nice. Johnny Beane. Yes. Johnny Beane.
What, Zora?
I
Okay.
don't know where she's at.
I thought I heard her. Okay, we're giving this away right now. I'll be talking about these pedals tomorrow, which I'll be giving away at some point. And we'll be giving away the Life magazine on Tuesday. Van Halen, One Tuesdays, right here. The Van Halen Show on YouTube. All right. All right. The winner of that speaker is... The winner is... Feisty Feather. Feisty Feather is the winner. Text me. Give me a text message if I can find... Where are those things out that I normally use? The phone number. That one. There we go. 415-952-3263. Send me a text. And this is yours. Bluetooth speaker, Feisty Feather. There we go. All right. We did it. And before I forget, thank you so much to our channel members. Your continued support for this show and these shows is totally awesome. Thank you again. And nobody ruin the new Indiana Jones movie for me because I'm going to go see it tomorrow.
Yeah, I want to go see that. I've heard it's good.
I heard it's awesome. When? I'm going to go see it in the morning. I better go to bed.
Lewis, good night. Johnny, if you want to give away a poster next week, I'll give away another poster. I know that G. Bushnoff liked the poster, so I got a bunch more. So if you want to do a poster next week.
Oh, man. Next week. That sounds good. Sounds good. All right. You guys rock. Thank you for watching. What else? What am I forgetting? Anything?
Robbie, nice to see you, sir. Ron,
Yep. Good to see you.
nice to see you guys.
Peace out,
Johnny,
everybody.
always a pleasure.
Good to see everybody. All right.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
Deuces.
Be nice. I be nice.
Johnny Beane.
All right.
Maybe nice.
All right.
Johnny
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Hey, this is Ricky Rocket, and you're watching my buddy Johnny Beane right here on his channel.
All right. Hey, this is Jennifer Batten, and you are watching Johnny Beane TV.
Hey, it's Phil Henry here, radio legend. That's right. And you are watching and listening to Johnny Beane TV because I love it. And there's not a lot I love.